is Alchemy's New Works Festival 2023. Thank you all so much for being here. My name is Mike Murdoch. I am the Artistic Director of Alchemy Theatre. Alchemy Theatre welcomes you to Cellar Door. Please buy all of their food and buy all of their drinks. They are very graciously allowing us to be in this space, so please patronize them as much as you can. There are a couple of small changes on the sheets that you may have seen. We are going to be starting with the same play, I Do. Then the next two plays will be after all of the high school plays. There'll be a bunch of Huntington high school students are here, many of them. They've written plays for us. They will all happen, and then we will go back into the adult plays after that, just so you are aware of those minor changes. One quick note for us. Our next production, Private Wars, directed by Brian Cook. Auditions for that play will be February 11th at 1 p.m. at Regeneration Church in Huntington. That is above the old lattice on 4th Avenue. The show dates for that are March 17, 18, 19, 24, 25, 26. Please come and check that out. We're very excited about that. And soon after that, we'll be having auditions for our musical, Steve Martin and Edie Brickell's Bright Star, which is very exciting too. So come and check those out. And without further ado, I hand it over to Sheila Redling.
I'm not used to speaking in public. We are so excited for you all to be here tonight. Thank you so much for coming out for this. We have got so much talent in this tri-state area, and you all keep it alive. Showing up just encourages people to write, and work. So thank you very much. The first show is by the one and only Eric Fritz Hughes. Those of you who are listening to the writers know Eric. The man, the myth, the legend. Here's his bio. Eric is an expat from Mississippi who has called West Virginia home since 2001. His short plays have been performed across Greater Appalachia and even north of the Mason-Dixon line. I know. What? He has frequently worked with Greenbrier Valley Theatre as an actor and director of short plays, and also directed 3 productions at the Pocahontas County Opera House. He's the author of the short modern fantasy collection, A Consternation of Monsters, which I highly recommend. Pick it up. His writing has appeared in Greenbrier Valley Quarterly Magazine, the anthologies Mountain Voices, Dark Tales of Terror, Diner Stories Off the Menu, Writerly Advice, and most recently in the COVID-19 anthology In the Mist. He is employed by the West Virginia School of Osteopathic Medicine, where he fakes illnesses to train students. It's a gig. He's also the narrator of 11 audiobooks. Samples of his work can be found on his website, MrHerman.com, where you can also find his horribly true humorous essays. So this play, the first one we're doing is I Do. It is a standalone play featuring a cast. It was written entirely by Eric. It is based on a concept and brainstorming session Eric shared with another writer, Beverly Pauley, during a John Joy playwriting workshop at the West Virginia Writers Summer Conference in 2015. While it has had one previous production, it is therefore not technically new. It has been retooled quite a bit since. So everyone, it's always tough to be the first one up, so big round of applause for Eric.
Good evening. The cast of characters for I Do are Josephus, a pirate quartermaster, late 20s to any age, may also be played by a woman pretending to be a man. And the captain, a pirate captain, late 20s to any age, may also be played by a woman pretending to be a man. The scene at the helm of a pirate ship during pirate times, mostly. Josephus, a pirate quartermaster, stands at the wheel or the helm of a pirate ship, facing the audience. The wheel itself does not need to appear like a realistic ship's wheel. It could be the steering wheel of an AMC Pacer, for all it matters. In fact, if the wheel could have an on-the-column stick shift, that would be awesome. Josephus is dressed as a stereotypical pirate, all striped shirt, vest, and puffy sleeves. He has an eye patch over one eye, possibly under his glasses. He stops steering and then takes out a telescoping spyglass, which also needn't be fancy and may even be a kaleidoscope painted silver or gold. He lifts it to his good eye and peers out over the sea, scanning across the audience from right to left. When the scope passes the curtain line and peers off stage left, He spies the captain approaching.
Captain on the deck!
Captain enters from stage left, clad in some approximation of pirate captain gear. Hat, ornamented long coat, cutlass on belt, and a peg leg. The peg leg also does not need to be terribly realistic. It can be a brown sock for all I care. It is the actor's choice as to which leg is pegged, so long as they act as if the leg is pegged.
Ahoy, Joseph.
Ahoy, Captain, and a hearty morning to ye.
Thank ye kindly.
Sleep ye well, sir.
Nay, Josephus, nay.
Was it your restless leg bothering ye again?
Nay, 'twas the weight o' impending events that vexed me slumber, keeping it at bay.
Understandable, sir, considering what tomorrow brings.
Aye.
The good news is we've a 5-knot wind into the sails. At this rate, we'll make land before sundown, nearly half a day early, sir.
Aye. Well, jolly. Any ships to be sighted this morning?
Nay, Captain, it's only us and the dolphins, or as we pirates call them, the merswine.
Disappointing it is.
What, sir, the merswine?
Nay, the entire lack of ships in our path. Would have been nice to spy a treasure-laden galleon, or one of them big fancy yachts full of rich Wall Street arseholes. Something we could righteously pillage the shit out of.
Hoping for one last haul before ye hang up your cutlass for good then, sir?
Aye, Josephus, aye. Every good pirate needs one last go afore he's gone.
I'll keep an eye on the horizon then, sir. If I see so much as a schooner, I'll give ye a shout.
Arr.
Arr! Captain, I feel I have to ask. Be truly certain you want to go through with this. 'Tis a big step. You're losing your sea leg once and for all.
'Tis true, Josephus. A truth I have felt with the pressure of 1,000 fathoms, growing e'er stronger the closer to shore we draw.
'Tis not too late to change your mind, sir.
Nay, 'tis. Me belongings are all packed. Me heart is set. There'll be no sailing past these shores of this fate.
Very well. I suppose there's nothing left for me to do but get ye to the church on time.
That ye should, Josephus. The hall is rented, me vows are writ. Me lovely bride awaits.
Full speed ahead then, sir.
Full speed ahead.
Josephus looks up and blows air from his mouth toward the unseen sails above. Several seconds pass while he continues to blow.
Of course, I know full well what the men have been saying about me.
What's that, sir?
That a proper pirate captain is solely married to the sea herself, and that he should only join his bride's loving embrace after being mutinously gutted by his crew and chucked into Davy Jones' locker.
'Tis pirate tradition, sir.
Yar, 'tis a load of seahorse shit. Oh, we pirates talk a big game with all our pirate traditions and our pirate codes of conduct, and sure, a few of those codes may be even useful. Keep your cutlass clean and at the ready at all times, or you'll get keel-hauled. No fighting with your fellow crew members, or you'll get marooned. When you buy a new walking plank, be sure to measure them with metric weights, not British Imperial, or you have to test your new plank out yourself. Crew members are to get equal shares of any plunder.
Except the captain who gets 2 shares.
Aye, or the quartermaster who gets 1.5.
Aye.
But the number one most important tradition we have, above all other codes and agreements, no women folk be allowed on board. Never ever.
Aye.
Well, I've been me own captain for 27 years. I've seen a lot. You know what I say about keeping women folk away?
What, sir?
What good is plundering all this treasure without somebody to share it with? Someone who smells nice. Someone with young, firm notions on how to properly manage finances.
Now, sir, there's plenty of nice-smelling someones with young, firm notions at every port we come to.
Plenty of cats in the cat houses, you mean? And a night in such a place will net ye the case of the pox.
Or as we pirates call it, the merpox.
And then you get to spend the next 6 months dipping your Johnny Depp in mercury. No thank ye, says I. This ain't about lust, man. I want love. Pure, sweet, abiding love. A romantic partnership between equals. The kind that poets write about. The kind Air Supply used to sing about.
Air Supply reminds me of a Friday night in the skating rink when I was but a lad of 13, skating couples only, buying dill pickles out of a big jar and watching all the other kids play Hubert in the arcade because me dad didn't give me any Carter.
I love her, Josephus. I'm called to her like she was a siren of myth. Except not the kind that lures you into the rocks to shipwreck you.
I hate them kind.
Her eyes are bluer than the azure Caribbean Sea. Her smile brighter than Spanish doubloons. Her skin smoother than silk. She's my treasure. She is the finest booty.
Yar!
Her.
Yar! Yar!
They bro punch each other in the upper arms, saying R until the moment it becomes awkward. Then they look away, give it a long beat, then they do it all again. Finally, Josephus claps the captain on the shoulder.
Have you truly weighed the odds, sir? Always weigh the odds of success when going up against a potentially better armed vessel or when navigating an uncharted course.
To be sure, many before me have sailed this route. Barely half of them have survived to tell the tale.
Not great numbers, sir.
Damn the numbers, Josephus. You don't know. You weren't there.
Where, sir? Where?
There, by the sea, walking on the beach that cold March night. The neighbor girl I'd known as a youth and had fancied, and who fancied me too. I was later to learn, only she left town and moved away before I could tell her. But after many months, I found her again at last. That night, we walked side by side along the sand, the moonlight pale along the tide as it rolled out. She told me her hand was cold, so I took it in my own to warm it. We both spoke of our lives as we lived apart, the adventures we'd had, the tragedies we'd survived, the young people we lost along the way. I told her about my mom dying when I was 4 and being raised by my dad, the Pirate King. She told me of her last man who'd broken her heart. We left the beach, crossing the little wooden bridge that spanned the dunes, and there we paused at the top to look back at the sea. I told her my lips were cold, so she took them in her own to warm them. It was the happiest I'd ever been, but at the same time, still so sad.
Why, sir?
I was shipping out at dawn. I had to leave, but I knew in that moment I would return to join my life into hers and never leave her side again.
That's beautiful, sir. But it must have been so difficult for you. I mean, walking through the sand with your peg leg and all.
What?
I said it must have been difficult.
Yarr! I'd be bearing my soul here and you're talking about my fake leg. Understand me, man, I love her. She alone is worth pulling this life of boozing, womanizing, pillaging, irresponsible behaving. I sees adventure behind me. We'll make our own adventure. I shall gift her me name and we'll build a life together. We might even get a dog.
'Tis fine, sir. But I had to ask, if we must lose ye to the landlubbers, your reason for going should be worthy.
You're a good man, Josephus.
The best man, sir.
I-
In fact.
I feel at ease that me boat is left in your captain's hands. You'll make a good captain in my stead.
I had a good teacher, sir. Why, when I started, I didn't know booty from a bunghole, and look at me now. Yar!
You realize the pirates never really talk like this, right?
Nay?
Sadly, your standard pirate cadence can be directly traced to actor Robert Newton, who played Long John Silver in a bunch of pirate movies in the 1950s. He was so good playing them that his English West Country accent became permanently cemented as the world's collective pop culture consciousness. And now everybody thinks that's how pirates supposed to talk.
That scallywag! We could have been posh sailor types all this time, but for him, I say this Robert Newton, we catch him and we have him keel-hauled.
There's the spirits.
Then tie him over a cannon to be flogged, or as we pirates call it, making him kiss the gunner's daughter.
Now you're talking.
And then we should kick him right in the Johnny Depp.
In the dingus, me hearty. Yar!
Yarr! Ho, the phone, what's that? Sail ho! Boat sighted off the starboard bow.
Aye.
And one of them great honking super yachts to boot.
Sink me, a super yacht!
She's got the swimming pool, the water slide, the whole bit, sir.
What flag is she flying?
No flag, sir. She appears to be loaded down with oil company executives, the board of directors for Purdue Pharma, some Russian oligarchs, and a couple of Trump kids, and and that guy who invented auto-tune, sir.
Feel free to substitute the executive root cause of whatever political or financial crisis has most recently befallen the country. We've had like 9 of them since the play's first draft.
I feel shivers throughout me timbers, Mr. Josephus. That's the most concentrated combination of wealth, stupidity, and evil on the high seas. Aside from us.
Oh, sir, they're partying down. They're lighting cigars with stolen welfare checks and tossing puppies overboard as fast as they can.
Josephus, I sure could use a super yacht for me honeymoon.
Set to, lads! Hoist the mainsail and flank speed! We got the captain's last pillager for us! Let's make her a good one!
Yar!
And such a broad range of talented actors here at Alchemy. We want to remind, especially you high school students, we are having free workshops tomorrow at Heritage Station. Julie will know because she's probably working the desk. Noon to 4. You don't have to register, just showing up. We're going to be talking about writing in pairs, what actors look for in a great role, having a writer's roundtable, as well as talking to Chris Anderson, who's been doing a one-man show all around the country, all around the world really, for 12 years. Have a Zoom with him, you can ask him anything. So I'm going to turn it over to Stephen Vance, who's on the high school section. That's the high school students represent. Bring your game, bring your big game on.
I'm going to call the cast down so they can come on down. It's Soup on the Warfront cast. Come on down. Soup on the Warfront cast. Hello, everybody. I'm Stephen Vance. Mike Murdoch and I took a trip over to Huntington High School about 2 weeks ago, almost 2 weeks ago, and visited Helen Freeman's class. And a lot of you guys are here, so thank you for being here. What we're going to do is we're going to read multiple pieces. We're going to read like 4 pieces at a time, and then we're going to get some audience feedback because that's important. That'll help you develop as a writer. And for all the people that don't know what the students have been up to, prepare yourselves because some of it may be a little disturbing. The other thing you might need to know is we gave them all the same prompt. We asked them all to start with the prompt, "Dinner's ready." And that's where they started their piece from. And it went multiple directions. And you can probably think where some high school students went. So we're going to go there. First up is going to be Soup on the Warfront. I'm going to hand out some character names so you know who everybody is. Sheets is you. You just put that on the front. Clyde. There's Clyde. Nurse down here on the end. Knox. And Henry. This is Soup on the Warfront by Nick Booth and Connor Williamson.
Hey boys, dinner's ready. Come get your hot potato broth.
That's just wonderful. At least it's better than salt pork and hardtack.
Hey, hardtack's not entirely useless. Put it in your shirt and you got armor.
Laugh a little. Flag walks up.
Sir,
Clyde stands at attention.
At ease, soldier. Good to see you vigilant. That's a good war characteristic.
You're a one fast runner, Clyde. What did you do before this? Sir!
Sit down, men. You all on guard seem that you need it.
Yeah, I was sure I heard something far off, but it was just a deer that scared me half to death.
What?
He was scared by the sound of a deer far off.
I knew what he said. It's just that a deer scared him.
Oh, okay.
So you like potatoes?
Ooh, I love potatoes.
Couldn't see that one coming.
I think we're all going to love this stuff.
Of course.
Hey, I figured something out. Boil your salt pork and it becomes palatable.
What, did a deer come up and make you drop it in your water?
What's up with you?
Well, you weren't there. I was sure I heard something move in the cannon. It was just a deer rubbing his velvet on a tree, though.
I've been mistaken on those grounds before. Possible death lying right at your doorstep. Oh, eat up, boy. Tomorrow morning we have battle.
Finally. I've been waiting a good few months for another battle.
Why do you want to fight so much?
For me, it's the glory of the United States of America.
I just like to fight. It's in my blood. How about you, Sergeant?
You know it's all right for you to call me Sheets. And I'm just here so a rich family can keep up appearances. How about you, Henry? Why'd you join?
I've just been a career path in my family so long that I had to do it for the sake of tradition.
A tradition of death and violence.
A tradition nonetheless, still one I had to abide by.
Well, you can still enjoy hanging out with us around the fire.
And you're still doing a service to your country.
With blood.
Yes, and honor.
Not so much honor in making a kid go die for his country.
Not much honor in not having pride in your country.
Not much honor in talking to your sergeant like that.
Yes, sir.
Are we going to try this stuff already? It'll get cold if you don't.
Sure, I do love potatoes.
Every good Irishman should. I should have known I've got Irish in my blood.
I guess that should mean you like alcohol, too.
Only half. I have Muslim and Libyan heritage on my mom's side. So beside it being tradition, I have a not wanting to be a slave stake in this war.
I say that's a fair reason to fight, besides the obvious of being able to fight people legally.
Speaking of fighting people, we should really eat our food, man, so that we're eating strong.
I'm good.
What's wrong? It doesn't look...
Looks an obvious disgust of potato soup in gulps.
It's edible?
It's my mom's recipe.
Well, I'm saving my appetite till I absolutely need to eat.
Is it normal to not feel hungry in the face of war?
If you kill someone,
Haven't killed anyone yet.
that's it. It's just the nerves. Your dad should have taken you hunting when you were younger.
I have gone hunting, just one animal I haven't.
They elude my shot every time. I think that's one thing Clyde and I can understand.
Yep, even figuring out how to kill other animals from miles away. The human, that's who started this war and that's who will end it.
Yeah, they also aren't devoid of emotion just because you don't know them. I remember I went to Louisiana with my friend William back before the war. I wanted to just get some food and drink with him. A man came up and said he shouldn't be free because of the color of his skin. And he drew his gun, so I did mine. Difference was I was much faster.
Bet he was hurting.
He was. I walked over and he started saying he was sorry and to just let him die there. I started to realize I just killed a man. When his family finally ran over, I remember him seeming less like a target and more like a man releasing his life and atoning for all the bad he had done. But sometimes the bad must be done for the good to be carried out.
Yes, it has been an immoral sin to kill. It does serve a greater purpose, though, much like you soldiers.
And the mountain of bodies you lie on to sleep.
The ones who fought for this country.
The boys who did not know what they were doing, what they were fighting for.
They knew the risk.
Somehow you can't see that they were just children forced to kill.
Still some soup over here. Might not be amazing, but still some soup.
No one wants your potato sludge.
Everyone sits in silence for a moment.
I meant to say, at this moment, with the current circumstances, food is not the best thing to have in our hands.
What do you mean by that?
We could be attacked at any moment. If you all didn't realize deer don't sound like cannons.
So you're suggesting fighting soon?
Possibly, but don't count on invading us. Even if it was just a deer, someone from the other side might try to kill it and cook it.
Yep.
What?
You can expect a battle here in the morning, so eat up.
Don't worry. I'll look over the ridge for them.
Go ahead. We need to be ready.
I'll keep cooking. Men will be hungry come the battle.
I'll charge them so they don't kill our men here if I see any.
If you see anyone, I'll alert the whole camp.
A lights changed to reveal Sheets in his home with a nurse. What do you mean, sir?
What? Wait. Now? Here, are they? Where am I?
You're in your own house.
And the boys at the battlefield?
What
The
battlefield?
war!
Oh, don't worry, sir. They're all right. He's not getting any better. He thinks it's still a war.
It is still the war. It is still the war. Help me. I have to help them kill those rebels. They'll die without me. Please.
Blackout.
Next up will be Never Say Never by Lindsay Nolan. That cast, come on down. Who are you?
I don't know. Savannah.
Yep.
I'll give you that. Dylan? This is Dylan. No, you know, Savannah, Andy,
Ethan's son.
Stephen's
All right, I'll go to the end. That's easier. Yes, I was just thinking that. Same. All good?
Never Say Never. Characters: Savannah, wife; Dylan, husband; Ethan, son; Oakley, daughter. Scene synopsis. Savannah does not feel Dylan is giving her the love he used to give her. They've been married for so long they're starting to get tired of each other. She's thinking about ending the marriage. Savannah has been waiting for the right time to tell Dylan she wants to get a divorce.
Hey, honey, something smells good. What are you making for dinner tonight?
I'm not making anything for you.
Fix my plate, honey.
No, I'm not. You don't ever do anything around this house to help at all. Why would I fix a plate for you?
Yes, I do, honey. I help you all the time.
No, you do not. The only thing you do is go to work and come home and lay on the couch and watch TV.
I go to work every day so I can support this family we have.
You may go to work every day, but you don't involve yourself in this family.
Yes, I do. Whatever happens in my family, I am there for it.
Oh, you do? Did you even see your kids' report card last week?
Yes, I did see them. I told them I was proud of them.
So you're aware that Oakley is falling behind in 2 of her classes?
Like I said, I've seen it, so I'm aware that she is falling behind.
Oh, really? Because she's passing all her classes.
Savannah chugs a full glass of her wine.
Don't you think you should slow down, honey?
Don't you think you should involve yourself, honey?
I don't involve myself. You're the one who just stays home all day and don't go out and work like I do.
Dylan, you know I can't get a job with the disability that I have.
I don't care about your disability. You're complaining about me not helping when you're the one who is lazy and just stays home all day long. At least I go out and work.
I can't believe you have the nerve to say that your wife that you are supposed to love so much and all the things I do around this house for you.
I do not really care if I had the lazy. And don't do nothing when you're the one who can't even leave the house and go get a job.
She pushes him back and runs up to their room.
I do not understand why he is like this. Maybe I should have just divorced him when he first started doing this.
Scene 2. Oakley comes out of her room and goes into Ethan's room.
Hey, Bubby. Do you know if Mom's fixing dinner tonight? I'm hungry.
No, I haven't heard Mom say anything about what she was fixing us tonight.
Oh, well, I'm going to go downstairs and see if she's fixing something.
Oh.
Sorry. Ethan puts his headset back on and starts to play his game again.
Okay, if you find out anything, come and tell me.
Okay, I'll be right back.
Scene 30.
Mom, what are you fixing for dinner?
I'm fixing chicken pot pie and mashed potatoes. They will be done in about an hour.
You're not Mom. What are you doing in here?
Hey, Princess, I decided to fix dinner tonight and give your mom a break.
Do you even know how to cook?
Yes, I know how to cook. Why would you say that?
Well, Mom is always the one who cooks dinner every night. I have never seen you cook before.
He looks at her and gets a little mad, but then it's like he understands now.
Well, I decided to give your mom a break tonight. She does a lot for our family, so I decided to step in and help tonight.
That is so sweet of you, Daddy.
Thank you, Princess. That's what it's good about being married. You get to help each other out.
I can't wait to get married one day, Daddy.
Princess, you are not going to get married. If you get married, that means you're growing up and you won't be my little princess anymore.
Daddy, I'm always going to be your little princess, no matter how old I get.
You are so sweet. I love you so much, Princess.
I love you so much too, Daddy. I'm going to go upstairs and tell Ethan that you're fixing dinner. He told me to tell him when I found out something.
Okay, Princess. I'll let you know when I'm finished cooking.
Scene 4. Oakley heads back up the stairs to Ethan's room.
Hey, Bubby. Dad is the one fixing dinner tonight. He said he was giving Mom a break.
That's weird. What did he say that he was making?
He said he's making chicken pot pie and mashed potatoes.
Did he say how long it's going to be till it's done?
He said that it should be done in about an hour or so.
Do you think it is weird that Dad is cooking dinner all of a sudden?
That's what I thought, but he said he's going to help Mom out, but I still think it's weird.
I don't know, maybe him and Mom got into an argument, or maybe he's telling the truth.
Did you hear something downstairs earlier before I came into your room?
Nah, I didn't hear anything. Did you?
I thought I heard something, but maybe it was Dad cooking or something.
I don't know, but I'm going to go back to playing my game. If you need me, you know where I'll be.
Okay, I'm going to go watch some TV while we wait for dinner to be done.
Scene 5.
I really hope that Savannah likes what I made and sees that I'm trying to help out around the house. I wonder if I should go get her or if she'll come down here and see that I finished dinner.
Scene 6. Savannah is still sitting on the bed.
I need to go finish dinner so that my kids have something to eat, but I don't want to go down there and face that man I have to call my husband.
Savannah stands up and starts pacing and thinking.
I need to clean up so my kids can't tell I've been crying, or even my own husband, who's supposed to take care of me, but he can't know I've been crying because he is the reason. I don't want to be around him no more. I just want him to be gone and never have to see him again. I don't know that I can take any more of his rudeness.
Savannah heads out of the room and heads to Oakley's room. Scene 7. Knocking on her door.
Hey, sweetie, what you doing?
Oh, I'm just watching TV, waiting on Dad to finish dinner.
Oh, your dad's not fixing dinner, I am.
No, Daddy said he's helping you tonight. He said he told you that.
Oh, sweetie, I forgot. I'm gonna go see if he's almost done.
Okay, Mom. Just yell and let us know when it's ready. I'm so hungry.
Okay, sweetie, I'll let you know.
Scene 8. Savannah heads to her room, so mad at Dylan.
I am gonna kill that man. I cannot believe he would tell the kids that.
She goes into her drawer and gets out a knife.
This should be able to get rid of him once and for all.
Savannah heads down the stairs, hiding the knife behind her back.
Honey, is that you? I was just about to come check on you.
Savannah meets him in the living room, still hiding the knife.
I cannot believe you lied to the children. And why do you need to come check on me? So you can be more of an awful person than you were? Hell, maybe this will help.
Savannah pulls out the knife and stabs him. Savannah cleans up the mess and yells for the kids.
Dinner's ready. Your dad had to go to work. Come eat while it's warm.
Parents, please check on your children.
I can tell you that's normal.
Next up, my last breath.
Get it, Linda.
Just playing Dr. Taylor. Let me see. I'll put you on sides. And Myra. There she is. This is My Last Breath by Zoe Robinson and Haley Byron.
Scene 1. The scene is set with one table center stage, with a chair on both the right and left sides of the table. Dr. Taylor is sitting on the left side of the table with a notebook. Mira enters down right.
Hello, I'm Dr. Taylor. You can sit right there. It has been mandated by the state of Georgia that I talk with you so you understand how this is going to work. So that is why we're here. Your name is Myra Whitlock, right?
Yes, doctor, that's right.
And it is to my understanding that tomorrow on June the 11th, you are going to be put to death for the murder of Cecilia Valinsky. Am I correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay then, we're going to start by going over some questions you answered in court today. Okay, let's start at the beginning, where you meet Cecilia. You said in court that she was your ex-husband's wife, correct?
Yes, after I divorced my husband, Richard, he met Cecilia. They fell ever so deeply in love and got married.
Okay, then how often could you say that you would see Cecilia?
Around once a week. My ex-husband Richard and I were still friends after the divorce, so we would occasionally talk or get together, and she was usually there too. She was rather paranoid.
So you would see her once a week. Okay, let's move on. You said in your testimony that you were not very fond of Cecilia. Is that correct?
Yes, she was rather annoying. I only put up with her because of my daughter.
Yes, your daughter Jade. I understand that she refused to testify against you. Are you too close?
More than anyone could imagine. She was more of my friend rather than a daughter. I know people say that's unhealthy and that I should be a stronger parental figure. But she's an only child. She never had many friends, so I felt that I needed to step up as one for her.
It must be hard for her to lose a mother.
You know, she's strong. She can handle it. My baby is strong and passionate. She will fight her way through the crowd and she will succeed all on her own.
Okay, so let's pick it back up. In court, evidence like a murder weapon, which was a kitchen knife that had your fingerprints on it, was found to further your conviction. Where did you get the weapon?
My kitchen?
Yes, that seems likely. When I was looking at your records, I noticed an absence of any other crime you may have committed. Usually, when looking at murder charges, there are previous charges or arrests. You have none. So that brings me to the question of, why would you kill Cecilia?
Well, that is a loaded question. I guess I just snapped or something.
What were you feeling when you killed her?
I was scared. I felt everything.
But in court, you confessed to feeling pride and relief.
I guess I felt a bit of both.
One of the other suspects in this investigation happened to be your husband.
Ex-husband.
Can you think of any reason he would have to murder Cecilia?
Why are you asking me this? Why are you asking me any of this? I pleaded guilty. Just let me die already.
Myra, why are you so okay with dying?
Because I deserve it. I did something horrible. I need to be punished.
Yes, but there are other ways of doing that. However, you just seem set on dying. If you keep fighting, you could have gotten some part of sentence or maybe even parole.
Well, given the choice between life and death, why would anyone willingly choose life? Life is nothing but a constant matter of tragedy, a constant matter of loss. Everything you love is gone, disappeared just as fast as it got there.
Okay, I can understand where you're coming from, but my real question is, why would you, of all people, kill Cecilia? You're young and you have your whole life in front of you. Was it because of your ex-husband?
No, it had nothing to do with it. I did it because of my lineage. She was a threat to me, to my daughter.
To your daughter? Do you mind explaining how?
I don't know.
You don't know why you killed her?
My daughter liked Cecilia less than I did. She loved me so much, and she thought Cecilia was trying to replace me. She would constantly tell Richard to divorce her, or she would stop all contact with him. I know he loves Jade. He cherishes her even. But Cecilia was manipulative. She'd always had ways of changing his mind like a siren would distort the mind of young sailors. She had a certain charm about her, something that Richard simply couldn't resist.
Did you ever feel jealous of Cecilia?
No.
Then what did you feel towards her?
Compassion? Regret?
Do you regret killing her?
No, I regret not doing anything, not stopping what was happening, just watching her heart slow down and her body bleed.
But in your testimony, you said you left right after you killed her.
I don't remember.
Myra, what are you telling me?
I love her. More than anything in this life, I would do anything for her. I couldn't let her die.
But you did. You let her die.
No, not Cecilia.
Then who?
Just put me out of my misery already. I can't handle any more of this.
Myra, please, I just need to know what happened.
I didn't want to believe it, that she could be capable of such things. I remember when my Richard and I were still married, and he was a stay-at-home dad, and every night I would come home right at 6:10 like a perfectly set clock. Every day felt the same. Every night he would shout, "Dinner's ready," and we would gather in the dining room, sit across from each other with my daughter Jade in the middle. I remember looking down at her sweet little eyes. I knew she would do something life-changing. I guess I was right, in a sense. I truly love her. I didn't have a good life growing up. I just want her to prosper the way I never did.
Myra, you pleaded guilty to first-degree murder with a death sentence. Why would you do that for a crime you didn't commit?
What are you talking about? Of course I killed her. Why else would I?
Whoever you're trying to protect doesn't deserve it. You will die and you will lose everything. Richard, Jade, your family.
And you think I don't know that?
You have to work with me here. Everyone out there thinks you're guilty.
Well, then let them. I can't change their minds.
Yes, we can. You are innocent. Anyone who spends more than a minute with you can see that.
Doctor, with all due respect, you don't know me. I might not have laid my hands on Cecilia's dying body, but that doesn't mean I didn't have a part in her dying. I am just as guilty. It was inevitably my fault, which is why I pled guilty. It was my fault. I could have stopped her. I should have seen it coming. I should have. Why would she do this? I taught her to always be kind. She's not like this. Why would she do that?
Are you saying?
You can't say anything. Don't we have a patient-doctor confidentiality or something? You can't.
Myra, calm down, please. Just tell me, who murdered Cecilia?
Myra starts crying.
It's okay. It's going to be okay.
The worst part is I still love her.
You're her mother. Of course you love her.
How could I love her when she did such a terrible thing?
It's easy to look past the pain one has caused when you love them. Love is blinding. I understand this. But Myra, you have a life too. You deserve that life.
Maybe. It's too late now.
I'm sure there's something we can do.
You really don't understand.
I guess I don't.
Your fancy degrees and doctorates, you can't begin to understand this.
Myra stands up.
I would die over and over again for Jade. I would walk to the ends of the earth just to make her happy.
She needs help, Myra.
And she will get it someday. But today and tomorrow are my last days, and I'd like to enjoy them.
She exits. Scene 2. The stage is set with one chair down center. Myra enters and sits in the chair.
My life has never been perfect, nor has it been pretty, but it's mine. For eternity, I'll be waiting, reliving everything in the past. For now, I erase all regrets, all sorrow, Only hope remains. Hope for a better future, hope for a greater life for you and for me. My love will carry on like a flame that will never be extinguished.
Blackout, end.
And now for something completely different. Dinner's Ready by Caroline Rollison, Elizabeth Valentin, and Ruby Bowen. I assume you're Senator.
No,
Oh, you're Sage. There's Senator. John. And Paul Ringo. John Paul Ringo. And Tim.
they're all kept. So that's the better.
Dinner's ready. The scene takes place in an office lounge. Needed items for the scene are a door, a fridge, and a coffee machine, chairs, and cabinets. Other office lounge items are optional but strongly recommended.
Dinner is ready. I'm starved.
Natalie opens the fridge and looks through the fridge, but she can't find her food.
Where is my General Tso's chicken and fried rice?
Paul enters to grab a drink from the lounge. He seems to be finishing up what he had for lunch.
Hey, Nat, what's up?
Someone has taken my dinner out of the fridge. I've been looking for my leftovers all day long, but wait a minute. What's on your face?
Paul visibly has sauce around his mouth.
Paul, did you take my leftovers?
What? No, I just had my BBQ wings. Get off my case. Someone really needs to find you those leftovers.
I'm going crazy. Maybe they're in the freezer?
Natalie runs to the freezer and aggressively looks through the freezer. John enters to also grab a drink of some sort.
Paul! What's going on, man? Did you watch the game last night?
Natalie and Paul give John the death glare.
Not right now, John. We got a crisis going on.
What? Did I do something? Oh, hey, Natalie.
Have you seen my General Tso's chicken and fried rice?
I haven't been here all day, so I haven't seen your food. But if I'd seen it, I probably would have eaten it because I love General Tso's chicken. It's the best.
Natalie gives John an angry look, while Paul looks at John with a scared look.
Why are you guys giving me that look? Did I do something wrong?
Oh, no.
John, you took my General Tso's chicken. I know you did. You just admitted it. Get it back.
Whoa! Chill out, girl. I was just joking with you. I haven't had anything to eat all day.
I'm sorry. Really, I'm really sorry.
I'm just going to go grab a glass of water.
Good luck, Paul.
John quickly runs to the fridge to get a glass of water and bolts out of the room.
Have a nice day, John. Now let's find that food.
Paul joins Natalie at the fridge freezer and begins looking for the food.
It has to be somewhere. It's not like it just got up and walked away.
Natalie notices a smell from Paul's sweater that smells exactly like her food.
Oh. I'm gonna ask you again. Did you take my food?
Are you kidding me, Natalie? I am digging through a freezing cold icebox just to help you find this stupid food. Do you really think I took it?
Yeah, right. Sorry.
They continue their search for the food as another person, Jennifer, comes in with Natalie's coffee mug.
Hey guys, what are you all doing?
Someone took Natalie's lunch and we're trying to find it.
Oh, can I help?
Yes, please. Can you look in the fridge again? I am going to go dust off real quick and I'll be back in 5 minutes max.
Of course.
Paul leaves the room as Jennifer places Natalie's stolen mug on the counter. Natalie hears it being placed and jumps up from the freezer.
Jennifer. Jenny. My amazing friend. Is that my mug?
Is it? I found it in one of these cabinets and used it because I needed some coffee.
Natalie gives Jennifer the death glare.
Not funny, got it.
Yeah. But you took my mug, so you took my food!
I did not.
Tell me the truth, Jennifer. Did you take my food?
No, Natalie, you are crazy.
I just need to find my food and eat and go back to work. Jennifer pours some coffee in her mug, chugs it, and continues looking for the food through the freezer. Paul comes in with some more sauce on his face and some rice stuck to his sweater.
Okay. Any update on the food?
What do you think?
Dang, I'll check the cabinets.
Paul goes through each cabinet while humming the jingle to the place Natalie got her food from.
Wait, I recognize that tune. Anywhere you went to East Flavortown.
How did you know that?
When I went there earlier to get my dinner, that song was playing for 10 minutes. Wait, is that more sauce on your face? And rice all over your sweater?
Fine, I was there. I went to get my dinner from there.
Why wouldn't you just say that? It's so suspicious.
Well, I'm mad at you.
Why would you ever be upset with me?
Because I went to go get General Tso's chicken. I had been sitting there for 20 minutes. Since we both used the office name for our orders, you got the last batch, so technically, it's my chicken, Natalie.
Natalie walks over to a chair as Paul grabs a glass of water. Jennifer is hiding in the corner behind a shelf, sipping her coffee.
Fine, whatever. Going back to work. Goodbye.
Natalie storms out of the room while Paul paces. Jennifer rises from her corner in an attempt to sneak out.
You wait right there.
Oh, what do you need, Paul?
Give me your coffee.
Jennifer runs to Paul in a frantic way, gives Paul her coffee, and runs out of the room. Paul takes a sip of the coffee and grimaces.
Ugh. At least the chicken was just as good as I expected.
The end.
Let's bring our first batch of authors up that are here. Nick, Connor, Lindsay, Zoe, Haley, Caroline, Elizabeth, Ruby. If any of you are here, come and have a seat. I know some of you are here. And if your writing partner's here, sit with them so we don't get them mixed up. None of yours.
I'll go.
All right, so go down the line, introduce yourself and what you wrote.
I'm Nicholas Booth, and I wrote Soup on the Warfront.
I'm Haley. I wrote my last breath. I'm Zoe. I also wrote my last breath.
I'm Caroline, and I wrote Dinner's Ready #1.
So, what did you guys enjoy? Actors, anybody? All at once. Amanda, yes, go ahead.
I loved Zoe's line about life and death. I actually was with her when she was talking about writing it, and I thought she was joking. But it actually ended up in the script, and I loved it. I also loved Nick's play. I found the ending a shock. It was really cool. I loved Caroline's. Ironically, we have the same title, which was super funny to me, but I like yours more than mine because it's super funny.
Don't undersell us. It's coming up next.
Oh, yeah. I loved it. So yeah.
Anybody else? Actors?
I like the plot progression of Haley and Zoe's. Of
Yeah.
like the story of not really being revealed at the beginning and like finally figuring out.
Now that you guys have heard them out loud, what do you think? Comments? Nick, you only got comments.
Yeah, okay, it was a little bit of a shock, so if I have any other things that I write, I'll make sure more shocking things happen.
You like the shock? Rick, you played in that one. How did you enjoy playing that character?
It was sort of interesting, the sort of dichotomy, since in the play I'm sheets, but then I'm old sheets at the end.
Right.
And so I don't know if people really caught that transition, but he's never really given up that idea. But I thought some of the things he said in conjunction, some of the conversations brought out how stupid war really is. And the people that go, and I know the heroes, and it's wonderful, my brother served, but it's still, there's a lot of young people who just don't, they're over there because they're kind of following orders.
Sure. Anna, you had the role of a lifetime, right? Playing in Dinner's Ready.
That was a good. I mean, I'm very passionate about my food being in the right place. I mean, yeah, you know.
I think it's something we can all relate to.
The dialogue was there.
So how did you guys write that? Did you sit down and do dialogue, or who did mostly your dialogue?
A lot of it was Ruby, honestly. She was our main idea person.
Oh, okay.
So a lot of it's hers.
Yeah. Great. Eric?
For Soup on the Warfront, is it the intention in your the intention in your play that an older actor will appear as she's on the stage along with the younger soldiers?
I didn't really have much of an intention for it in the beginning for something like that to happen, and as it went on, I noticed that he was more experienced, so I thought it would work. I just kind of went along with it, and
I just thought the idea of an elderly man that plays with these younger soldiers will give the audience something to chew on. They're like, what sense does this make? And it won't be apparent until the end what sense it does make.
Watch that elderly stuff, buddy.
He's playing old.
Young Dr. Taylor, in the piece, I remember you made a comment a couple nights ago with the doctor piece about the dialogue at the end and how you felt about working with Sheila on that.
I thought it was very well written, and it was clear, even though it took its time to get around, to the big reveal or whatever you want to call it. I thought it was very well written, and I think that's one of the hardest things to do is to hold back on the fact that her daughter killed her rather than the woman in the play. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed reading it, and I enjoyed performing it.
For Last Breath, death row plays have built-in tension, and you've got conflict immediately, so it does a lot of the heavy lifting for you. You guys handle it very well. I was curious about the timeline. I'm not sure if I heard it right. When was her trial and when is her execution?
Her trial was. I also wrote half of this at 4 in the morning, so I wasn't really thinking. I think the trial, in my mind, was kind of a couple days prior, and then they were kind of just re-going over it, and then her execution would be the day after, something around that time, I guess.
Very quick turnaround.
Yeah, I would recommend, I love the play, by the way, but I would recommend looking at more of the timeline that death row executions happen on, because it usually takes years.
And that's a line. It's a couple lines, and you've got it fixed. So that's good. You have a question?
I absolutely loved in My Last Breath, you never directly said that Jade killed the wife, the new wife. That was never directly stated that, yes, my daughter did it. It was a whole little line of illusion and smoke and mirrors that's alluding to, yeah, she did it, and I'm going to protect her for my entire life up until I die tomorrow. And I thought that was really cool.
Let's hear it for Nick Booth, Joe Robinson, Harry Martin, and Carolyn Robinson. Next up, we also have Dinner's Ready. And this is by Amanda Airwood. Come on down, Dinner's Ready crew.
John.
There's John. There's John. Yes, your bagel. Tracy? Tracy, you can go sit by or not. Move down. I'll be on the end. Yeah. Switch with you. From here, things get a little darker. Dinner's Ready by Amanda Airwood.
A man and a woman walk into the living room of their deceased parents' home.
The man walks over to the couch, the center stage, and sits down. The woman sits beside him.
How long has it been since we were last here? It feels like forever.
It's been 3 years.
Why'd we wait so long to come back here?
Mom always came over to our house.
Yeah. I don't know why she never wanted to spend the holidays at her house.
She probably didn't want to clean up after your kids.
Hey, your kids are just as messy as mine.
That's doubtful.
You think she missed Dad?
Yes, but I doubt that's why she didn't want us to come over. If that was the case, she probably would have sold the house.
Yeah. I guess so.
I'm gonna head upstairs to look through Mom's stuff.
I'll stay down here then.
All right.
Tracy exits while Daniel picks up a photograph of his parents from the coffee table beside him. He sighs as he looks at it.
He looked so happy. Why would he leave? I wonder if he knows about her death. I doubt it, seeing as how he cut off all ties with our family. If he found out, why would he even care?
Tracy runs on stage holding an old book in her hands. She hands it to Daniel.
Look what I found.
What is it?
It's Mom's diary.
Mom had a diary?
Apparently.
Wonder what she wrote about.
Why don't you read it and find out?
I will.
While you're doing that, I'm going to go back upstairs to look for her jewelry.
Have fun.
Tracy rolls her eyes, then exits. Daniel gets up and walks over to stage left as he reads the diary out loud.
June 11th, 1964. Dear Diary, today was an awful day.
Daniel freezes on the couch as the lights dim. A spotlight hits his parents who are sitting at a table.
Honey, I'm home.
If you don't stop saying that every time you walk in the door, I'm going to hit you over the head.
Now calm down. Why are you so angry today?
Lisa stopped by.
She did.
She says she saw you out on the town with that young girl, Mary.
Mary's brother David and I are co-workers, so I talk to her when I see her in public. How is that bad?
According to Lisa, you were doing more than just talking.
Susan, you have to stop talking to her. She keeps putting ideas in your head.
John.
I swear we were just talking, that was all.
Okay, I believe you.
Good.
You might get home tomorrow before I do. Lisa and I are going to take the kids to the park.
No.
No?
You can take the kids to the park, but I don't want you to talk to Lisa anymore. She keeps on lying to you, and I don't want her to put any more ideas into your head, or our children's.
No, she's my friend. I'm not going to stop talking to her just because you say so.
Fine. Just don't let her near our kids.
Fine. I'm going to fix dinner.
Okay.
The light dims. Spotlight hits Daniel as Tracy walks over to him.
What did she write about? Are there any interesting secrets in there?
Do you remember a woman named Lisa?
Lisa? As in Mom's old friend?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, when we were younger, her and her kids used to come over all the time. We also went to the park with them a couple times.
Why don't I remember her?
You were really young. She stopped hanging out with Mom like a month before Dad left. Why are you asking about her?
Mom wrote about her. Apparently, her and Dad got into a huge argument because Lisa kept telling Mom that Dad was cheating on her with some woman named Mary.
Mary?
Yeah. You know who she was?
I think I recognize that name, but I could be thinking of someone else.
Do you think Dad ran off with her?
No, from what I remember about Dad, he was honorable.
He left us.
Yeah, I know. But I still don't think he'd cheat on her. I remember them being so in love with one another. I can't fathom how or why he would want to leave her for another woman. Keep reading. Maybe we'll find out what really happened.
Next entry is from July 2nd, 1964. Dear Diary, I saw them together.
Well, I guess Lisa was right.
Shut up and listen.
Fine.
As I was saying, I saw them together.
The lights dim. A spotlight hits Susan and John.
You were out late today.
Yeah, I stayed late today to help David out.
Is that so?
Yeah, why?
Are you sure you were helping out David? Or were you helping out his sister?
I told you to stop talking to Lisa. What did she say this time?
I didn't speak to her.
Then why are you acting like this?
I saw.
You saw what?
I saw you and Mary at the park earlier. You kissed her.
Susan, that never happened.
Don't lie to me. I saw you. She was wearing a yellow dress and you were wearing the same suit you have on right now.
You must have seen someone else. I wasn't at the park today. I was working.
Really?
Yes.
So if I call your boss right now, he will tell me you were working?
Why do you have my boss's number?
Lisa gave it to me a while back. She's friends with his wife and thought it might come in handy someday.
Stop listening to Lisa.
Why? Because she told me the truth?
Susan,
I want a divorce.
no.
This isn't up for debate. We are getting a divorce. You can go off and be with Mary. The kids will stay with me.
How will you provide for them without me?
I'll find a job.
You won't be able to find a steady job. And even if you do, it won't pay well enough to take care of yourself and the kids. You need me.
I'll figure things out. Now go pack your bags and leave.
No, I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying right here, and we're going to fix this.
There's nothing to fix. This marriage is done.
Susan, this will wreck the kids.
You should have thought about that before you went off with Mary. Now get out.
John slaps Susan across the face.
No, this is my house, and I'm not leaving. Now go make dinner. And when the kids come down, don't say a word about any of this. Don't go telling Lisa either, or you'll regret it.
What will you do?
I'll take the kids and leave you on your own, just like you were planning to do to me.
You wouldn't be alone. You'd have Mary to keep you company.
Shut up.
The spotlight switches back to Daniel and Tracy.
So he really did cheat on Mom.
Yeah, guess he did.
So from what I gather, based on what you told me, Dad cheated on Mom with this woman, Mary. Lisa found out about it and told Mom. Dad tried to convince Mom that Lisa was lying, but then Mom saw him and Mary together and confronted him?
Yep, that's exactly what happened.
Wow, I can't believe this. Why didn't Mom tell us? If she had just explained that she had kicked Dad out of the house because he cheated on her, then we would have understood. We wouldn't have been upset. But that's better than thinking he just left us all for no reason.
Yeah, you're right. Doesn't make sense why Mom wouldn't have told us, especially when we got older. She always acted like she never knew what happened to him either, but wait, she said in her diary that she tried to kick him out, but he refused to leave and threatened to take us away from her. If that's the case, then why did he leave without trying to take us with him?
I'm not sure. This is all so confusing.
She has a few more entries, but most of them are all about how she hates having to keep this secret from us and how she's sick of being treated horribly by our father. And the last entry looks pretty long. You want me to read it?
Obviously.
August 23rd, 19...
I don't care about the date it was written. Get to the juicy stuff.
Stop interrupting me when I'm trying to read. Dear Diary.
Where are the kids?
They're at the park with the neighbors' kids.
Oh, okay. Well, what's for dinner?
I don't know yet. The last time you were at the store, you didn't buy enough meat because you were too busy flirting with Mary. So now I don't have anything to cook for the kids.
How did you know about that?
Lisa told me.
Is that woman a spy? She always seems to figure out where I am.
Maybe if you weren't so indiscreet, she wouldn't catch you every single time you're with Mary.
Are you still mad at me?
What do you think?
I think you need to learn how to deal with it. You've had a horrible attitude for over a month now, and I think the kids are beginning to notice.
You want me to deal with the fact that you're having an affair and refuse to leave without taking the children with you?
Yes.
You're absurd.
You know, I'm right. It's hurting the kids to see you so upset all the time. They don't understand what's wrong, and I don't want them to find out. So put a smile on your face more often and act like you used to. Then everything will be fine.
You know what? You're right. I just need to put a smile on my face and all my problems will magically disappear.
Oh, that's the spirit. I'm glad to see you understand.
Oh, I understand perfectly. As a matter of fact, I think I know what I have to do to solve this dilemma.
John turns around and sets his coat jacket on a chair. Then he takes the newspaper off the table and starts to read it with his back turned to Susan. Susan grabs a knife off the counter, then slowly walks up behind John.
Well, does your solution include finding something to make for dinner? Because I'm starving.
She stops as she holds the knife above John's back. She hesitates.
Yes, as a matter of fact, it does.
Well, I'm glad.
Susan stabs John and falls to the floor. The spotlight switches over to Daniel and Tracy.
She killed him. She really killed him. That's why she didn't tell us about the affair. She didn't want us to know what he'd done because she knew we would want to find him and talk to him. And if we couldn't find him, then we'd suspect something was wrong.
Shut up, it's not over yet. There's more.
More? What else could she possibly say?
Daniel reads from the diary.
I don't regret what I did to him. However, what followed will haunt me forever. I wasn't thinking straight, and the kids, oh, the poor kids. I knew they needed something to eat, and their father hadn't bought enough food for the week, so...
The spotlight hits Susan, who is wearing a new apron. The table is set with food on 3 of the 4 plates. Someone knocks on the door.
Come on in, kids. You're just in time. Dinner's ready. I decided to make something new. I made a lot of food, so we'll have leftovers for a while. Hurry up and come inside.
Blackout.
You're still up. Last time was Johnson. If you thought that was dark, let's take it to another level.
High schoolers!
Next up is Last Night with the Thompsons by Roy Terry, Wes White, Mushroom Boots, and Grant McCaffrey.
I just have one question. What the heck is going on top of that hill? Where's that awesome? No, mushroom. Where's mushroom? Just wanted to see what you look like. Never known anybody named mushroom.
Scene 1, setting outside of Meat Treat. James Matfield has just finished eating in the meat treat and is now walking down the road. Many people pass by, but when James passes an alley, he hears a sound. A masked person gets James's attention by calling to him. He walks into the alley to get closer, but the masked man grabs him from behind and stabs James. We see James being dragged off stage. Scene 2, the setting, the Thompsons' house. There's a knock at the door. The door opens and Mrs. Thompson appears.
Oh, hello, Detective Mike. How may I help you?
I'm working on a missing persons case. Can I ask you some questions?
Sure, why not? Come on in.
Mike enters the house and into the dining room and Mrs. Thompson.
Here, take a seat.
Oh, thank you.
Is it okay if you stay with us for dinner?
Mrs. Thompson goes into the cabinet to get a plate and silverware for Mike.
Oh, I can stay for that. Anyway, do you know anything about...
Hey, Mama. Who is this man? Jimmy, be polite. This is Mike. He's a detective. He's going to be eating with us. Oh, okay. Sorry. Hello.
Jimmy sits down at the table.
Hi there. Anyway, do you know anything about James Matfield? According to people, he was last seen at 1:02 p.m. at your restaurant. Am I correct?
Yes, I think he was at our restaurant that day. In fact, he's a normal customer.
I'm not surprised. This place has one mean burger.
Says this while writing in his notebook.
Yeah, Dad makes great food. He knows how to get all the great meat cuts.
You're right, son. His cooking is great. That's why I married him.
So you're telling me that he comes there often?
Yep, he really loves our food.
So, since he's an often customer, could that mean that he could have gone missing after he went there?
That sounds likely. He might be dead.
Looks at Mrs. Thompson in a concerned way.
Mom, what are you talking about?
It's nothing, Jimmy. You should leave. The adults need to talk.
Okay, Mom, tell me when dinner is ready.
Okay, son, I will.
Jimmy leaves the room.
Anyway, it seems like this case might be more serious. So I suggested the idea that he might be dead.
Well, hopefully he isn't dead. That's the last thing I want to have happen.
Maybe he was killed by somebody.
Yeah, but who would have killed him and why?
Yeah, what type of person would do that to him? He's so nice.
Hey, sorry for getting off topic, but what is for dinner? I can't stop smelling it.
Oh, well, you'll find out soon. Speaking of dinner, I'm going into the kitchen to see how my husband is doing with the food.
Okay, that's fine.
She leaves the room to walk into the kitchen. Mike looks around in the room. He notices the family photos and the many framed knife collections. A timer goes off and Mr. and Mrs. Thompson walk in with food in their hands. Mrs. Thompson is holding 2 bowls, one with peas and the other with rolls, while Mr. Thompson is holding the main dish, which has multiple steaks on it, and they place it down on the table.
Jimmy, dinner's ready.
Jimmy enters back into the dining room and takes a seat.
Oh, this food looks amazing.
Thanks, Jimmy.
Walks to where Mike is sitting.
So you're Detective Mike. My wife is telling me that we had visitors. Welcome to our home.
Mr. Thompson shakes Mike's hand.
Well, thank you for having me. You have an amazing wife.
Why, thank you.
Mr. Thompson walks back to the other side of the table and everyone sits down.
Well, let's eat.
Everyone is passing the food around family style while talking.
Detective Mike, I hear that you're working on a missing report for Jade. How is that going?
Well, according to most people, he was last seen at your restaurant. So I decided to come over and ask some questions.
Mr. Thompson looks at Mrs. Thompson with a concerned look on his face, almost like he's suspicious, then turns back at Mike.
Oh, well, he is a regular.
I know, that's what your wife said. And do you know where he went after he left your restaurant?
You know, how about you eat your food? You don't want it to get cold.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Boy, this food is great. Why don't you sell this at your restaurant?
Well, this is for families only. Plus, our restaurant is more of a lunch type of place than a dinner type.
Yeah, I guess you're right. But the meat is still just as great. How do you get such good meat? I need to know your secret.
Well, my son and I hunt for our own meat. Isn't that right, son?
Yeah, I love hunting with you.
It's a great bonding experience. You should do it sometime.
Well, maybe I can join you.
Well, I'm afraid that we can't do that.
Yeah, we don't want to reveal our secrets.
Hey, I need to use the restroom. Do you mind?
Oh, it's down the hall on the left. Please don't go into any other rooms. The house is a mess.
Oh, thank you.
Mike gets up and walks into the hallway. Scene 2, basement cellar. Mike walks to the bathroom. The hallway has several doors. Mike notices a door partially open.
I wonder why that's open. I guess I should close the door.
Mike gets closer to the door, but he notices something suspicious and opens the door. He gets in there looking at all the sharp objects. While he looks around, he notices there is a staircase that goes down and a sign that says cellar, where the meat is cut.
Oh, they cut the meat in here. Something's not right.
Mike walks in and sees a cold room full of meat. But some of the meat is dead bodies made from humans.
Oh my God!
Mike walks and looks around while writing in his notebook. While walking, he notices a box with the word heads on it.
Heads? Why does this box say that?
Mike opens it, and he sees James' head in it with other body parts that seem to belong to him.
Oh my God! That's James, and he's been chopped up.
Mike soon realizes that since Mr. Thompson is a cook and that there was human remains in the room, Mike realizes that the food he was eating and that the food that everyone has been eating at the restaurant might have been made from humans.
Does that mean the food I ate wasn't him? I need to leave this house. I need to tell somebody.
Mike runs out of the cellar. Mike ends back into the hallway and walks out like nothing has happened.
Well, I'm back. Sorry for taking so long. Boy, I really needed to use it.
Are you sure about that?
Yep, I'm sure.
Mama won't let you leave now.
What do you mean?
Mrs. and Mr. Thompson walk into the other side of the hall, blocking the way.
Well, we can't let people know our secret. You know, you went into the room.
Jimmy pulls out a knife and stabs Mike in the back before he can do anything.
Great job, son. Now we have more meat for the restaurant. Now be a good boy and clean this mess.
Everyone laughs, but not in a crazy way. Not in a crazy way.
What goes on?
No wonder they all get A's.
Next up is Rounded Out by Joshua Boniek. No. Justice, who's Brady? Hey, Brady. Hey,
Nyla.
Nyla, here you go, Nyla. Here comes Brittany.
Act 1, Scene 1, Justice's room.
Justice, are you okay?
I'm fine, Mom. I just can't believe he did that.
It's horrible. He did write out a letter for you before he, you know.
He did?
Brittany pulls out a letter addressed to Justice.
Here it is. You can throw it away, read it, just not open it. It's up to you, Justice. So, what are you gonna do?
Scene 2, Braden enters and speaks directly to the audience.
Well, sad scene, huh? Oh, I forgot, you guys have no context. So, my name is Braden, aka the he Justice was referring to, so let's rewind a little bit to a couple days before.
Scene 3, kitchen.
Hey, Justice. Whoa, you look great.
Yeah, I know. Braden and I broke up.
Oh, sis, I'm sorry. Why did you guys break up?
It turns out that Braden is gay.
Well, I can't say I'm surprised.
Braden steps into the scene having just overheard.
Hey, Justice. Nyla. You ready?
Yeah.
Where you guys going?
To my room. Don't give me that look, sis.
Pulls Nyla aside.
When he came out to his dad, he kicked him out.
What? You're joking. Well, just don't do anything stupid.
Homosexual?
Oh, right.
All right, well, let's go.
Bye, Nyla.
Stepping into the next room.
Thanks for letting me stay. It means a lot that at least someone doesn't think I'm a devil spawn like my dad thinks. He threatened to kill me a couple times before burning my stuff out on the lawn.
That is absolutely awful, but that does sound like your dad. He has always been a little over the top.
Yeah, he's crazy.
Well, welcome home, at least for now.
Thanks again. Hey, Mrs. Brittany.
Hey, Braden. Dinner's ready in the kitchen if you want some. I made mac and cheese. I know it's your favorite.
Thank you. I'm not very hungry right now.
Let me show you to your room. It's the same as mine, so you'll know where it is.
Braden and Justice exit. On the phone.
Hey, Mr. Lewis. It's Justice's mom, Brittany. Yes, we've met before. I'm just letting you know that Braden is staying with me until you're ready to accept him. Yes, I understand you think you'll never accept him, but... Hello? Hello?
Braden re-enters.
Hey.
Hey, bud, what you doing?
It turns out I am hungry.
Hey, I have a question. Has your dad ever hit you or hurt you?
I better just eat.
Transition to Scene 4, Justice's room.
Braden, do me a favor and give me your phone.
No.
Please, or at least just don't look at your phone.
Why? Oh, crap. I've had a lot of comments on my coming out post on Insta. Let me read them.
Braden, don't!
Braden Lewis is a demon. He doesn't deserve to live. He should just die already. Justice, why are they saying this?
It turned all homophobic. Turns out they only like you if you were exactly like them. I also wouldn't recommend looking at the work group chat.
Is there something wrong with me? Is it my fault?
No, just get some sleep.
I'm fresh out of college with a master's in music education and I'm working at McDonald's. There is something wrong.
Good night.
Night.
Blackout. Scene 5.
Morning.
Good morning. Your phone has been blowing up all morning.
Let me check some of these. Oh, you commented on the coming out post too. Let's see what you said.
No, Brayden, don't.
I can't believe it. You're siding with them? My best friend attacks me on my own coming out post. Wow! Don't be surprised if you don't see me for a while.
He exits.
No, Brayden, let's talk about this. Don't go, please.
Blackout. Scene 6.
Hey, Brayden, can we talk? Brayden, where are you? Mom, have you seen Brayden?
I thought he was in the room after your guys' fight. Let me check my phone really quick to see if... Oh, God. I found him.
Great. Where is he?
He's dead. There's a news article here that says they found him this morning. He hung himself from a tree.
Oh my God. I gotta go.
Come on, Justice, can we talk about this?
Hey, what's going on?
Brayden is dead.
Oh my gosh. I didn't think he would do that. I just thought he was over-exaggerating.
You knew about this?
Yeah, but...
No buts. I can't believe you right now. I'm out of here. If you need me, I'll be in my room.
How much did you know, Nyla?
Not much. He just came in my room and handed me this letter and told me to give it to Justice.
Let me read this. Oh my gosh. Justice needs to see this.
Scene 8. Brayden is watching as a ghost.
And now we're back to where we started. In Justice's room with her on the bed, absolutely devastated.
Justice, are you okay?
I'm fine, Mom. I just can't believe he did that.
It's horrible. He did write out a letter for you before he, you know...
He did?
Brittany pulls out a letter addressed to Justice.
Here it is. You can throw it away, read it, just not open it. It's up to you, Justice. So, what are you gonna do?
Can you leave while I figure things out, Mom?
Sure, honey.
Come on, Justice, open the letter. Please, it's the only way for you to know. Justice, I'm begging you, just don't shut me out like this.
Justice rips up the letter and throws it away, unbeknownst to her that Brayden was watching.
Oh God, what have I done? No, please, I need to read that, no!
Justice, what's wrong? Oh, honey, come here. I'm so sorry.
Now, I guess she will never truly know what happened. That letter contained important information on my murder. I'd gotten a text from my father telling me to meet him by the tire swing in the park. I knew he wasn't going to apologize, but the truth is I was hoping he would. I wrote Justice a letter telling her that if anything happened to me, it was by the hand of my father. If only she knew.
Blackout in play.
And for the final show by Huntington High School students, we have The Final Day. Not nearly as dark.
Josh needs a full hug from
Ricky. All right, there you go, Ricky.
Thank you.
Are you playing Brandon? There's Brandon. Are you playing?
Jack.
I think that's okay. There's Zach. There's Zach. Jack and Zach, and there's Mom. Final Day was written by Michael Patrick, Levi Childers, and Sophia Warner.
Final Day, Scene 1. The play starts at a blackout. 4 friends are on a group call on their phones.
Brandon, I was sleeping. What seemed so important, you needed to call me at 1 a.m.
I know, I was just trying to enjoy one of my last nights of sleep before school begins.
I didn't know, I thought it was midnight.
It is not midnight, it's 1 a.m. I see you don't care about our sleep much.
I'm sorry, I just usually stay up pretty late at night. I didn't know you all did it.
I mean, we all stay up pretty late usually, just not this night.
True. Now that we're all awake, what should we do?
Oh, I had an idea. That's why I called everyone this late.
What's your idea?
Let's hang out at my house and play some video games.
Sounds cool. What game are we gonna play?
How about I bring my PlayStation over? We can play Call of Duty.
Yes.
Sounds great.
You all play Call of Duty? That's awesome. I have thousands of hours on Call of Duty.
Wow, that's even more than I have. What Call of Duty do you all want to play?
City Ghosts or Black Ops 2?
Black Ops 2 sounds great. I think gun game would be the best choice for your game mode.
You read my mind. Gun game is my favorite game mode.
Wait, we need to get some snacks for this hangout.
I'm okay with any snacks.
How about we get some Doritos? What flavor?
Spicy sweet chili.
All right, then. What about some drinks?
How about a 12-pack of Mountain Dew?
That sounds great. How about we meet up at the Go Mart next to my house?
We're hanging out at your house?
Come on, it'll be fun. How about 1 p.m. tomorrow at the Go Mart?
Yep. Fine, see y'all.
Scene 2, Ricky, Jack, and Zach are standing at the doors of Go Mart. Brandon is already inside.
Where's Brandon?
That's what I'm wondering. We all agreed on 1 p.m., but now it's 1:20 p.m. and he's not even here yet.
I knew this was a waste of time. Spending my final day of summer break waiting outside a gas station.
Wait, is that him inside?
Zach, Jack, and Ricky exit into Go Mart.
Sorry guys, I just got off my shift.
You work here?
Yeah, I've been working here for about a year.
You work and have enough time for video games?
Well, I don't get the chance to play often. I'm usually working whenever I have any free time. My mom and I need all the money we can get.
Well, I didn't know.
What do you do here, Brandon?
I just restock the shelves. I used to be the janitor, but they actually promoted me recently.
That's great.
It helps me and my mom quite a lot. If I keep getting promoted, maybe my mom can stop working soon.
All right. I need to go to the bathroom.
Me too.
Ricky and Jack exit to the bathroom.
All right, guess we should go get the snacks we need.
Yep.
Brandon and Zach walk around the stage. Brandon picks up a 12-can box of soda. Zach picks up 2 bags of chips.
Did you move here this summer, Brandon?
Yeah, we got priced out of our old neighborhood. The rent on our house was raised too much for our budget.
Wow, that must have been rough for you to have to move.
It's not too bad.
I was just wondering, are your parents home right now?
It's just my mom who lives with me. She's at work right now.
Oh, sorry for asking. You know, we have a lot more in common than I thought. I never knew my dad either.
Since you're the popular kid at school, I thought you had the perfect life.
I wasn't at first, but I know I'm glad we added you to our friend circle. Maybe I need to start talking to different people besides the other popular kids.
Ricky and Jack return from the bathroom.
Wish you were still the janitor, Brandon. That bathroom was a mess.
Never again will I trust a gas station bathroom.
We got the snacks, guys. Let's go check out.
Finally, we can go play some Call of Duty.
Didn't expect to end my summer with this, but this is a great way to end it.
We can walk to my house from here.
The 4 friends walk, exit Go Mart, scene change. They arrive at Brandon's house. Scene 3.
The door is locked.
Whoops, let me get that.
Unlocks door.
Wow, is this your room?
Pretty cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
Let me go check if the front door is locked.
Brandon exits. Ricky, Jack, and Zach walk around the room.
Wow, Brandon has quite a lot of consoles. PS4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch.
Are those trophies?
Zach walks over to the back wall and picks up a trophy.
This trophy is for a Call of Duty tournament?
Wow. We might lose.
You don't say.
He has at least 30 of these Call of Duty trophies.
What?
Brandon enters.
I see you guys are admiring my wall of trophies. I have earned them quite recently.
Why don't you play professionally?
I have to wait until I turn 18. Until then, I'm still working at that Go Mart.
Hey, what's that picture over there?
Oh, that? It's the only picture I have of my father.
This is a picture of him in high school?
Yeah.
Looks just like you.
All right, are we gonna play video games or what?
Let's do it!
Zach opens backpack. He then takes out a console and controllers before connecting it to the TV.
All right, we're ready.
Lights change. The 4 friends are playing a PS4.
How are you already on your last gun, Zach?
I'm still on my 5th one.
I play this game quite a lot.
You might have to teach us a thing or two.
Hey, you're almost winning, Zach.
Are you letting Zach win, Brandon?
Definitely not.
Zach jumps up in joy.
Wow, I can't believe I won.
I think you mean I can't believe Zach let you win. Come on, let's play some more.
The 4 friends continue playing PS4. As they play, the lights dim to show how long they've been playing.
It's 8 p.m.
We've been playing for hours, and you guys have won once.
distant voice from off stage. Dinner's ready.
Oh, my mom must have brought some food home.
I have to say, this is the most fun I've had in a while.
Me too.
Well, I'm glad you guys just had fun.
Well, I guess I'll start packing my console.
Zach puts his console and controllers into his backpack.
I've never really had a group of people I could call my friends, but I guess I do now.
You will always be welcome in our friend group.
As long as you let us win some games of Call of Duty.
I may not have shown it at first, but I'm glad you're in our friend group, Brandon.
Thank you, guys. Come on, let's go eat.
The four friends exit. Blackout.
The authors of those, Dinner's Ready 2, Last Night at the Thompsons, write it out. The final day. Come on down and have a seat in the hot seat.
I can't believe everyone lived.
No, that's a great idea. Wait, keep reading, Mike. Keep reading.
Right. Wait, is there part 2?
How many times is it just an exercise?
You gotta write it harder, sit close to them. If there's not enough seats, somebody can stand in the back. All right, we're gonna start down there. Introduce yourself and what you wrote.
I'm Amanda Arrowwood, and I wrote Dinner's Ready, the second one.
I'm Roy Terry, and I wrote Last Night at the Thompsons.
I'm Mushroom Booth, and I helped write Last Night at the Thompsons.
I am Grant McCaffrey, and I helped write The Last Night at the Thompsons.
I am Wes White. I also helped write Last Night at the Thompsons.
I'm Josh Pontiac, and I did not help write The Last Night at the
They used up almost all the murder over there, but he kept a little bit.
Just a minute, I want to take their pictures so I can.
So you know later.
So you can match them in a line.
So, who wants to start? There's a lot going on. Go ahead.
Okay, first of all, ladies and gentlemen, when you get to college, counseling is free. It's an option that you should take. Yeah. Second, the one with the cannibalism, that's like an ick for me, so don't worry about it. It's just an ick for me. But you could have had some really cool suspense if you drew it out. So the idea is you don't want to show everybody everything. Like when you think of a movie, the most suspenseful part is when it's really slowed down. When the person is reaching for the doorknob and you're like, oh no, what's on the other side, right? So some of that, like the box with heads, I would have switched that and not even told us what was in there. Just give a hint that there's something truly awful behind there. Because our imaginations are way worse than what you can show us or what we see. So that would be my suggestion for you. And again, it's like cannibalism is my ick, so don't worry about that. But the suspense, you really can work on that and really make it something cool.
Nice.
Okay.
Thank you. Here.
The Last Night of the Thompsons feels like a short film to me.
Yeah, it did.
I could see it in my head as it was being read, and I think if y'all would be interested in doing an adaptation of your play, that would work very well, I think.
Yeah. All the way in the back.
Me too. I can see it in my head.
Jane.
I threw my voice. I thought I was really impressive there. No, to tell you what she said, if you take out that first scene of the guy being dragged down the alley, then it's a surprise. Yeah, because we have no idea why he's showing up at their house. But if you don't see that first scene where the guy gets dragged into the alley and suddenly gets murdered.
What were you going to say, Don?
We sent, we had two versions, our class version and then this version. Our version we sent to him did not have that version, so I don't know. I don't know how that got to him.
Yeah, I don't know how I got it.
Well, then never mind what I said.
Email fairies.
I made sure to keep us PG-13.
I appreciate that.
I had a wave battle.
I think except for the cannibalism, that was PG-13. Thank you. Dinner's Ready, the second part also had some cannibalism in it. What did you think hearing it read out loud?
I liked it. I found it kind of like It was a lot better when it was read out loud than it was when I was reading it in my head and thinking, oh my gosh, I have 2 hours to turn this in. And I was like, because like, I didn't know what I was going to do it on. And like, I just kind of started typing and I was like, I'll do an old family. And then I was like, oh, my first script that I think you read it a couple years ago.
I think so.
It was darker. And not darker than that, but it was pretty dark, and so I was like, I kind of want to go for that sort of vibe again, because I was good at it the first time, so I wanted to try to be as good at it the second time.
Right. No, at work, I personally like the scene jumps. Like, I like. You like those?
Yeah. I absolutely loved the way it did jump like that. The way you went from the present time of her children reading what she did to how it happened. I think that was incredibly creative, and you don't see it very often. I really like that.
Akia?
Yeah. I would say from the actor-reader perspective, I really enjoyed the way you did the dialogue in this one. It felt very conversational. The lines didn't feel forced, so reading that was actually quite an easy piece. So I think you did a great job with making that something that brothers and sisters would say to each other, and husbands and wives who are obviously not very happy with each other would also say to each other. And then the full scene jumping thing, just to reiterate, that was
cool, and that's very stageable. One of the things we talked about was trying to make things stageable, and you can definitely do that with 2 and 2. Jumping over to Josh. Josh was the first one turned in. Had you been working on it before, or did you write it that day?
Well, I started writing it before you told me what I had to write. I had this idea in my head. Wouldn't it be cool if I wrote a play centered around a singular letter? And then it got more into modern times and how, like finding your identity can be hard when people don't like you. And no, I don't need counseling. I'm perfectly fine.
Yours was a wholesome.
I'm fine.
Two of those reminded me of an old Twilight Zone. These kids won't even know that.
Oh, I know. I love Twilight Zone.
You know that one of the protagonists is named Chuck. And at the very end, it's the same going to go through. They just pan over the meat counter, and there's the Chuck roast. Not a word is said, and you just go, those were good.
Well, yeah, go ahead.
I think Josh's was really not expected. Because, like, I totally thought that this was a suicide. Like, I was sitting there and I was like, oh, that boy, yep, rest in peace. But then, so going through it, I think it was a really nice turn, a really nice twist. Sad, but I think you did it well.
Well, one thing we talked about was if you don't care about the characters, you don't care about the twists. Like, the twists are great and whatever, but if you don't care about the characters, the rest of it doesn't matter. Well, let's give our student writers a hand. Oh, we have one more question right there.
What was Justice's comment?
So in my head, I had seen plenty of people comment on Instagram posts such as that, and like I've had people walk up to me personally and say stuff along the lines of what Justice said, but we don't see it because we still want to love Justice. We don't want to hate her. We want to feel bad for both of them. Because Justice also has to go through losing her best friend. I think in my head, I had it as her just trying to fit in. Because she had just broken up with the newly gay guy. So that's not a very popular thing.
Right.
Are you telling me you don't break up with the newly gay guy?
Thank you, everybody. You guys have a seat. Might come up real quick. Give us just a second.
Guys, thank you all so much for all of that. Guys, writing is hard. And to get high school students to put out this kind of material is very impressive. Having to watch it, having to write it, having to watch it in front of a crowd, this huge crowd of people, being read in front of all of them takes a lot of guts and a lot of hard work. And thank you you all so much for being a part of that. Thank you for the audience for being a part of that. Thank you for Helen for letting us, Ms. Freeman for letting us come into Huntington High School and work with them, and as we continue to do that from time to time. So
now we have a prize to give away. We did this last year, so now we have to do it forever. I think that's the way it works typically. We're going to give out season passes to the Student Play Award winner. And that means you get to come to all the shows that you want for free. And I've got some pass cards that I'll bring to the school on some lanyards and all that kind of thing if you still go to school after this event. And the winner is Dinner's Ready with Caroline Rolson, Elizabeth Fellington, and Ruby Bell. Thank you guys for being here. From this evening, we want to mention there is going to be some adult material coming up in the next blocks.
Like there has not cannibalism.
Let's change it. Adult language that may be in the next block. I'm going to take a quick 1 or 2 minute break. I'm handing it off to Sheila, and then we'll get set for the next section.
Before we finish with the high school students, do I understand this is Helen Freeman's last year? Are you retiring?
I haven't announced.
I'm announcing it right now. Okay, you're not then. Okay, good.
I can't say anything until I speak to kids.
Okay,
I haven't decided, let's say.
This is what happens when you host drinks wine. You're lucky to work with Helen.
One of these days, Helen's going to retire, and you're not going to have her anymore.
Is this what it feels like to be old?
Yes. A little pain in your hip and a little more booze. Remember, tomorrow from noon to 4 at Heritage Station, which is just around the corner, we're having a series of free workshops. I hope we're going to see all of you budding writers there. We're going to be talking about writing in pairs, what actors look for in a great role. The actors you've seen here tonight are going to be there talking about what they want to see in a good role. We're talking to Chris Anderson, who's been having a long-running show internationally, and a Writers Roundtable, right, Mike? Yes?
That's right.
So hopefully everyone's going to be there. Want to see you.
And that's at Heritage Station tomorrow.
It's just, where Noma Bakery is, which is fantastic, and you're going to love it.
Follow the red caboose.
You're going to love it. It's going to be fantastic. All right, so, and then tomorrow night, if I may just tip my own hat a little bit, we're going to be doing, first of all, a short comedy by Audrey Stanton Smith, who is here. Yes. All I'm saying is it's aliens and Bigfoot. I don't need to sell it any more than that, right? That's all you need. Followed by the premiere of an original piece by myself and Lulu Smith called One Night in Venice, about 3 sisters who take a trip to Venice that changes their lives. I hope you will be there for that. We're very proud of that show. All right, coming back to the adult content where no one gets eaten. Yes, Helen?
We're gonna exit, but we don't wanna walk out later.
Honey, I've talked in public all the time. Walk out. I don't have my glasses on. I can't even see it. Tip your waiters, though. If you have ordered, or even if you didn't order, please leave some money for your waiters. They've worked really hard tonight. We had a big crowd of people. Don't be also by Eric Fritz Hughes. He's like the star of the night. I'm not going to read his bio again. He's fantastic. He's done everything. I will mention that you're going to hear West Virginia writers quite a bit throughout the evening. If any of you are not members of West Virginia Writers, I recommend checking into it. They have a summer conference every year. It's a lot of fun about playwriting, poetry, long fiction, short fiction. Audrey Stanton Smith is in West Virginia Writers. I know that's how we met Fritz, Toby. It's a great organization to meet writers, and they always want new people. So you're young, you've got great ideas, come to the conference and join us. All right, next, Eric Fritz Hughes. I'm excited about this piece. I was really hoping we'd have Mike Hagley read it, and we got him. So this is a piece called Fishbowl, and it's a very timely piece. It's a standalone monologue featuring a cast of 1. It's Mike Hagley on his cell phone. It represents one side of a conversation between a father and son speaking on cell phones through the glass of the window of his father's room at the nursing home. We all got through COVID, so this is, Eric I think just really nailed it with this one. And Mike Hagley, we can't do better than that.
So no pressure.
Right, exactly, right. You're fine. You got it.
All right, so
Blank stage. Son, mid-40s, looks tired, enters stage left. As he approaches center stage, Son begins looking toward an imaginary 6 foot by 6 foot bay window located down center stage. He approaches it as if peeking around the corner of the edge of the window into a smallish room beyond. He spots his dad, unseen by audience, and smiles. Son dials on cell phone and puts it to his ear. Son nods to Dad beyond glass and waves at him. Son holds up his phone to signify that he's using it to call. Unseen, Dad isn't swiping to answer his own phone, which is frustrating to Son.
You have to answer it, Dad.
Son makes a swiping motion an inch above the surface of his own phone to demonstrate. Still gets no traction.
No, Dad, you have to swipe it.
Make swipe again.
Swipe, no, swipe it. Press harder. There. Hey, still getting used to the new phone? Your old phone didn't work, Dad. That's what was wrong with it. The new one's fine. You just have to get used to the touch screen. The new one has buttons. They're just virtual. It's because you have to press them with intent, Dad. Remember how I showed you? Ask any one of the nurses in there. They'll be able to help. Don't ask Silent John. Or anyone else your age, for that matter. Sorry. I'm doing all right. A little bit distressed. How about you? Glad to see your face too, Dad, even if it has to be through your window. Don't tap on the glass yet. You told me that one yesterday. How's your physical therapy coming? Yeah, I see that. There's a lot more improvement than last week. You'll be on your feet in no time. Well, wouldn't get my hopes up on getting out of here just yet, Dad. It's not safe for you at home. Not yet, at least. Your doctors say you need more therapy or you'll always be in danger of falling. Spinal surgery is a serious thing to recover from. So I came down here to help out. Granted, I thought I'd only be here for a few weeks, but now that's out the...
Stops, holds hands up above eyes to block the glare, and squints to see something through the glass.
Hey, was that the bird lady I just saw go by? Your fellow resident, the one I called Bird Lady? I thought I saw her scooting past your doorway in her wheelchair. I thought all the residents were supposed to be confined to their rooms because of COVID. That's a good one. Can't gauge that bird. I'll have to remember that when I write my COVID lockdown memoir. Bird Lady's the best. She's still doing the bird calls day and night. Woo-hoo! Yeah. Not much to sing about, I guess. I'm amazed I saw her at all. I can barely see you through the glare on the window. In here, don't tap on the glass. Yeah, you told me. Did you see the pictures Elaine sent of the assisted living facility she found out near her in Texas? Oh, I'll get her to text them to you again. I think you and Mom will really like the place. Unfortunately, it's on lockdown too. They probably won't be taking new residents again until the number of COVID cases in Texas drops. Seems like that'll be a while, Texas being so big and all. Yeah, it's all so hot there. I've been talking to Leanne Joseph, you know, the real estate agent with her picture on all the grocery carts. She says she doesn't think we'll have any trouble selling the house once we get a few things brought up to code. She's been trying to get an electrician to come take a look. I'm not sure how safe that would be, but with Mom's lung condition and how things are going out here. Well, things still pretty much suck, and no one's real clear on when the sucking's gonna stop. New states are reporting COVID cases every day. Only 3 cases back in West Virginia, thankfully, but we're up to 17 here in Mississippi. Everybody's supposed to be staying home and practicing social distancing when they go out. Nobody but essential workers are supposed to be out and about. Anything that could constitute a gathering's been canceled. No concerts, no weddings, no church, no movies, no sports, period. All the hosts on ESPN look like they're about to cry. Yeah, they are pretty pitiful. And all the restaurants in Starkville were told to close. They can do takeout, but no dine-in. I guess things must be really serious because they closed all the bars too. No, the bars are not doing takeout. But apparently the liquor stores have been declared as essential businesses, so they're cleaning up big. Not that I've been to one or anything. Yeah, I bet you could use some in there. I don't know how they expect you to stay confined to your rooms without booze.
Squints, then points at something through glass, an unseen hallway beyond.
They caught her. I just saw a nurse wheel a bird lady back past your door. So you got the staff and they're all masked and gloved up too. At least they're taking that seriously. Guess it would be hard to tell anyone apart. Just know they're wearing the masks for your protection. That's why this place went on lockdown last week. We don't want anything like what happened at that nursing home in Seattle. Yeah, never mind what happened. We just want to keep you safe in there. Yeah, and me safe out here. It seems to be getting harder to do. It's really weird out here, Dad. I mean, I remember when Elaine and I were kids, the weatherman only had to whisper the words possible flurry in the grocery stores be cleaned out of bread and milk, as if we were going to be really snowed in for weeks in Stark Vegas, Mississippi. It's like that in all the grocery stores right now, except it's for Lysol, hand sanitizer, bleach, and toilet paper. Whole aisles just gone. Made me thankful Mom forgot to turn off the Amazon subscription to Cottonelle for the past 3 months. We literally have 192 rolls of toilet paper at home. I've run out of space to store it. She is a wise woman indeed. We're trying not to let things get us down too much. Well, I am, anyway. Mom mostly stays in bed watching CNN. Keep trying to get her at least watch something happy, but it's hard to pull her away from the president's news conferences. She hates that little orange man with a passion. He better be glad she's on oxygen and can't drive, because DC is not far enough away to stay her wrath. Only thing that calms her down are ice cream bars. Thank God the Kroger here does grocery delivery. I don't really like going to the store even with a mask. Can't risk spraying anything back to Mom. I figure coming out to see you here is essential business though, even if it's only through a window. I'm like a fish in a fishbowl in here, don't tap on the glass. Yeah, Dad, you told me. This is so hard, Dad. This was already hard before the virus, now it's so much bigger. It's like our problems are magnified by the pandemic, and all the plans I made for you getting you guys into assisted living are just dreams again. I mean, I know I'm where I need to be. I don't regret coming here to help you guys at all. The whole world is in turmoil, and Stephanie and the kids are all back home going through it without me. I have no idea when I'm going to be able to see any of them outside of a chat screen. No idea when I'll even set foot in West Virginia again.
Hears a buzz and looks at phone.
Hold on, Dad, it's Leanne Joseph's calling. It might be about the electrician. I'll call you back in just a minute.
Swipes phone, turns profile away from window.
Hey, Leanne. Sure, what's up? No, the nursing home hasn't called, but I'm there now. What? No, what was on the news?
Turns to look through window.
Reported here. Yeah. Shit. Sorry for the cussing. Oh my God, I gotta get home and tell Mom before she sees it on TV, and Dad. Why do I even tell Dad? No, thanks for calling me. Bye.
Hangs up, starts to walk away, then stops, remembering his dad. Son turns back to look in the direction of the window. Son moves back in front of the window, looking downstage through it, and dials on cell phone.
No, Dad, you have to swipe it.
Mom swiping rapidly and angrily. Suddenly nearly in tears.
Just swipe it!
Raises phone to ear, takes a moment to compose himself.
Hey, Dad, I have to go. I have to make some phone calls, all right? Just do me a favor. Close your door. Close it and keep it closed at all times, okay? It's important. I'll call you later. I love you, Dad.
Son lowers phone and hangs up. He stares through the window for a good 4 Mississippi, waves, starts to exit, then stops and looks up at the sky, sniffing sharply. Son turns and exits stage left, raising phone to begin dialing as he goes. End.
All right, so secret, I was on the selection committee for what pieces got selected.
And the first piece I read that got sent in was by Ian Nolte. And I saw D.B. Cooper, and I'm like, I don't care if this is a rebus. I'm picking this because I love some D.B. Cooper stories. So this is Long Gone by Ian Nolte. Ian Nolte lives in Huntington, West Virginia, teaches at Marshall University. He has been writing short screenplays since 2004 when his friend Michael bet him they could figure out how to write a movie if they tried. Does that sound familiar? Most of the good things in his life come from trying to write stories. So this is the story we're reading now. Are you Ian? Hello, Ian. In November 1971, a man identified only as D.B. Cooper parachuted out of a hijacked passenger plane with $200,000 in ransom money and disappeared into the skies over southwestern Washington. Judy, dreaming of escaping her father's rundown farm, finds the bandit and his money hanging from the rafters of her family's condemned granary. I will mention that this is the beginning of a screenplay, so there is some screenplay direction in it. So, you know, this is what it's like. You go stay free. All right, Long Gone by Ian Nolte.
Logline. In November 1971, a man identified only as D.B. Cooper parachuted out of a hijacked passenger plane with $200,000 in ransom money and disappeared into the skies over southwestern Washington. Judy, dreaming of escaping her father's rundown farm, finds the bandit and his money hanging from the rafters of her family's condemned granary. Interior, Boeing 727 night. The pilot and co-pilot of Northwest Airlines Flight 305 sit in icy silence, robotically operating gauges and controls. A flight attendant in a short powder blue dress with matching hat bounces in the jump seat, puffing a cigarette. The cabin is dark, eerily quiet, and completely empty, except for a nondescript man in a gray wool suit, D.B. Cooper. He is calm, serene, wearing a parachute, and holding a Smith & Wesson revolver with a large duffel bag between his legs.
Miss?
Cooper stands, but the flight attendant refuses to move. Cooper gestures with his gun. She gasps, but stands. Cooper walks her to the plane's rear door.
Show me how to open this.
Cooper begins strapping the duffel bag tightly to his body. The flight attendant is confused, scared.
I need you to show me how.
The flight attendant touches the levers on the door. Pull this up. Swing out. Cooper nods.
Thank you. Now please strap it in tight.
The flight attendant runs back to her jump seat. Cooper takes a slow, controlled breath. He checks to see if the flight attendant is strapped in, then opens the door. The aircraft jumps and slams. Alarms begin ringing. Masks drop from the ceiling. The sound in the cabin is deafening. Cooper leaps from the aircraft into the night. Exterior sky continuous. Cooper falls through the black sky. The rush of wind whips the gun from his hand. He fumbles for the ripcord. He reaches once and misses. He reaches again, and he hasn't. He pulls a sudden whoomph, and he is jerked up. He and the chute spin, his free fall only slightly under control. The ground appears to spiral up toward him, fast, too fast. Interior farmhouse night. A father lies on his back, snoring on a beaten, shapeless couch. Empty bottles litter the dirty rug. A preteen girl, Judy, lazes on the floor, half reading a worn teen magazine and sipping a Dr. Pepper. On a black and white television, Walter Cronkite sits before a map of the Pacific Northwest.
He got on an airplane in Portland, Oregon today, giving the name D.B. Cooper. But tonight, after hijacking a Northwest Airlines jet, ransoming the release of the passengers, and instructing the crew to fly him to Mexico, authorities have given him a new name, Master Criminal.
Suddenly, Judy jerks her head up as a whistling flutter passes overhead, followed by a loud crack outside. Exterior farmhouse night. Judy peers into the darkness at a dilapidated granary. It is a falling down hulk, a decaying vacant structure. Interior granary night. Judy steps into the granary slowly, nervously. D.B. Cooper hangs from the rafters by his parachute straps, upside down. His duffel bag hangs off his body, dangling several feet below. He is hurt, but regaining his senses. Cooper groggily produces a jackknife from his suit pocket. He slices awkwardly through a strap. He drops jarringly a few inches, and the knife falls from his hand to the ground. Hey. Cooper rolls his head back and studies Judy, upside down, for a long beat.
Hey.
What are you doing?
Cooper starts working at the buckles and straps impotently.
What's it look like? I'm baking a cake.
Judy steps under him, collecting his jackknife. The duffel bag hangs just a few feet above her head. She peers at it. The zipper is busted. She can see heaving stacks of bills.
That's a lot of money.
Sure is. Your parents?
No parents. Just my dad.
He coming?
Dad's drunk. He ain't coming.
Cooper stops fumbling with the straps. The blood is rushing to his head. He winces. Something inside him feels broken.
Get a ladder or something. Don't cut me down.
You're him. From the news. TV said you were headed to Mexico.
The plane is headed to Mexico. I'm not on the plane anymore.
Judy watches him dangle in the dusty air of the granary.
I could call the law. They could cut you down.
Cooper closes his eyes.
You could. Absolutely you could.
And they might give me a reward. Might get to meet Governor Reagan.
Cooper winces, but laughs.
Governor Reagan? I thought this was Washington. Where the hell am I?
This is Washington, but I want to go to California.
Judy walks around the hanging bag, examining it.
That enough money to get me to California? Get me out of this hellhole?
Cooper laughs again.
That's enough money to get you pretty much anywhere.
Judy reaches up and touches the bag.
I could, leave you hanging, take the bag. Nobody'd find you for days. You'd be dead, and I'd be long gone.
Cooper sighs.
I thought I'd be long gone. Look how I ended up.
Judy looks up, considering Cooper for a beat. Then she tugs hard on the duffel bag's straps. It breaks free and falls to the floor of the granary. A snap, and Cooper crashes to the floor right after it. Judy tightens her grip on the duffel bag and tries to drag it out from under Cooper's body. Cooper reaches up and grabs her wrist. He slowly, painfully draws to his feet.
I didn't hurt anybody to get this money, and I'm not going to start by hurting you.
Judy struggles against his grip.
You couldn't hurt nothing right now.
Cooper laughs. Blood sprays onto his lips. He winces. Judy tugs on the bag.
You said it. This could get me to California.
Cooper holds hard on her wrist, not letting her get the bag.
I just met you, kid, but you seem like you could get yourself to California without it.
Judy steps toward Cooper. She flashes open the jackknife in her hand. Cooper tenses, unwillingly but ready to fight. Judy eyes him. He is weak, but he is resolved. Judy drops the bag straps. She moves behind Cooper and cuts the last few lines, tangling him to the rafters. Cooper grunts pitifully as he lifts the duffel bag from the floor. Without looking at Judy, he turns and slumps as quick as he can hobble out the door toward the edge of the forest. Judy looks after him for a moment. She looks down and sees a few dirty $100 bills lying on the wooden floor. She folds the jackknife and puts it in her pocket. She picks up the money and stuffs it deep in there too. Exterior farmhouse night. Cooper struggles up the hill toward the edge of the trees. He is wheezing, stumbling, struggling to keep the duffel bag on his shoulder. Crane up, wide. The sky is dark over the farm. The mountains in the distance just shapes in the night. Judy walks back toward the light of the house. Cooper is a small black shadow merging with a large black shadow of the forest.
Nice. Oh, come on! Oh, man. Does he get away with it?
Well, it's just those 5 pages.
Dude.
No, it's like this.
You turn on him, okay? All right. Coming up next, that was number 3. Number 4. Is Allison Fradkin here? This is our next author, Allison Fradkin. This is, she sent in several pieces, and they were all kind of crazy, and I loved them all, but I had to pick one, right? Sorry. Allison Fradkin is originally from Chicago. Creates, this is the bio she sent in. You get a little on-ramp for what you're going to see. She creates satirically scintillating stories that surpass the Bechdel test and enlist their characters in a caricature of idiocies and intricacies of insidious isms. I hope you're drinking. She's asking me to read this. Why did she write this play? She says, the 1980s is my favorite time period for pop culture and an especially intriguing decade because it was at once progressive and regressive. There societal quest to go back to the future is simply the clean-cut, white-bread conservatism of the nifty 50s. And in this quest, we revive sexism and consumerism exuberant in that era. Owl Pals deconstructs these timeless institutions and also explores how they still exist and persist today in this totally tubular parody of parody. So this show we're going to see, this is Gal Pals Jeanette and Phyllis are anxiously awaiting the results of MTV's Video Thrill the Parody Star, a contest hosted by Hunky Dory's heartthrob of the 1980s, Weird Al Yankovic. Yeah! Look, man, I'm easy to win over. If I'm on the selection committee, give me Bigfoot, D.B. Cooper, and Weird Al Yankovic. Right? Will their entry push more buttons than an accordionist? Or worse, will their friendship be 86th in 86 in an allegory on the bummers of the big time? Here's Owl Pals.
Setting, Jeanette's living room, late afternoon. Time, late 1986. At Rise, Jeanette is reading a fan magazine while Phyllis is doing her homework. With a dreamy sigh, Jeanette thrusts the magazine in Phyllis's face.
Is you Bodie to the max or what?
Bodie? Don't you mean Grody?
No, I mean Bodie as in bodacious.
Weird Al enters. He is a figment of Jeanette's imagination.
Just look at him.
No.
I'm offering you eye candy, Phyllis, and caffeine pills. You can't just say no.
Coulda, woulda, dida, Jeanette.
But he puts the hunky-dory.
Weird Al preens as she praises him.
Skee-ball brown eyes and those spectacular spectacles keep enlarged and in charge. Wiffle ball white teeth, minus the gaps, and that hair. Each lustrous lock the color of a cuckoo clock. Weird Al Yankovic can slather those curly fried tresses and not catch him any day.
Weirded out. Weird Al exits.
That man is gonna change our lives.
Why do we need the man, or even a man, to make a change? He's not a Miss Piggy Bank.
True, but I have no objection to him putting us in our place because our place in MTV's Video Thrill the Parody Star contest is first. When we plant our flag on the cartoon moon, it'll be one small step back for man and one giant leap for womankind.
What if the song we chose is too retro?
Have you been watching the Totally Tubular Tube lately? It's got golden oldies galore. The Golden Girls, Murder, She Wrote, Life with Lucy, and on the big screen we've seen Back to the Future, The Color Purple, Amadeus, Cocoon.
Okay. Our choice of song is righteously and rightfully retro. But what if the lyrics we wrote are too radical?
You're worried that our song will exceed excessive excellence?
Of course not. I'm worried that it'll be deemed too extreme and therefore doomed to rejection.
What did you want to do? A spoof of Born in the USA called Boycott the ERA? Last I checked, your name isn't Shapely Phyllis. We wrote a song about something we both believe in.
Putting the owl in egalitarian.
Putting the gal in it, pal.
But what if people don't take our parody about parody seriously? I mean, you don't hear sit-ups of 9 to 5 or she works hard for the money or sisters are doing it for themselves on any Weird albums.
Right, because where's the beef? If he had one with equality, he'd make a mockery of it. He hasn't, so he doesn't. We have, so we did.
But having the right to write about rights doesn't automatically equate to having the rights to write about them. Oh my gosh. We should have read the fine print because it'll probably say we'll be fine.
We'll be fine. Better yet, we'll be famous. Al et al. Are going to adore our videos so much they'll start a fan club. It'll have more chapters than the Babysitters Club. Ooh, maybe we'll even get our own series. Give me a big break. Hey, should I change my name pre-fame? Jeanette is the name of a chipette, after all, and while she's definitely aspirational as far as rodents go, I would really hate to let the chipmunks fall where they may. I think I'll be cassette. No, I'll be cassette. Because when I'm famous, everyone will listen to me. I just hope my built-in fan base can adapt to the change.
if you were a light bright, I'd take down a few pegs. What? Built-in fan base! You were Kim Field's partner during Team Week on body language. You lost.
How was I supposed to know that this meant accordion and not Commodore 64?
Because you operate your computer perpendicularly. And because that goofball you love so much plays the squeeze box.
Yeah, well, that goofball lost on Jeopardy. Win, lose, you call it a draw, right? Which means we're equals. It also means I'm due for a win. Don't you want that for me? Us?
Honestly, I'd be content with a consolation prize. I could use a lifetime supply of Sweet Valley highlighters.
Okay, I mean, I wouldn't mind being Mr. Yankovic's participation trophy wife. Now, listen, I know what you're thinking. Given the message of our music video, I sound like a hungry hypocrite. But let's face it, Phil, he and I wouldn't have chemistry. We'd have alchemy. Unless, of course, he thinks I'm weird, or worse, he thinks I'm not.
Okay, I'm gonna shop till you drop the subject. I could really use a new,
sticker book?
Fanny pack. As in, when it comes to contemplating the contest results, we should seriously fanny pack it in.
But our entry is head and shoulder pads above the rest of us. I just know.
So do I, Jeanette. And that's what scares me the most of all. If we win, we'll become oddities and commodities. We'll be at odds with each other. That's just the way it goes. Cabbage Patch Kids end up in the garbage pail. Strawberry Shortcake goes from sweet to stale. Unless we're a one-hit wonder, a prospect that is both appalling and appealing. Our friendship is going to crumble like a Keebler Opera cream sandwich cookie.
Not even.
Get real. You're going to drop me like the thin-skinned, not hot, small potatoes that I am.
You take those allegations back this instant.
No.
If that's what you think of me, Phyllis, well then, may your strangers never be perfect. Your spoons never be silver, and your bosoms never be buddies.
Weird Al enters, for real this time, and addresses the patrons as if they are a TV audience.
Well, folks, things are heating up in the microwave. And with more and more women in the workplace, microwave ovens are the peak of their popularity. Who has the time to cook when you're too busy bidding your own meal ticket? It's the meal that's neither fair nor square. Who could dare to be stupid enough to give you less bread because you're abroad? That's what our contest winners, Jeanette Aqua and Phyllis McKeon, are wondering in their song, Give Me My Dough, a rational lampoon of Maybe I Know. Recorded by Leslie Gore in '64, not to mention an homage to my euphonymous caricatures of congestibles. Lasagna, eat it, and indigestible, girls just want to have lunch. On their application under inspiration, one wrote, you, meaning me, and the other wrote, Sophia Petrillo, because she taught me, meaning her, that while guys may hold the purse strings, girls hold the purse handles. Now let's watch these gals make waves, minus the micro, though not necessarily the microphone. Oh, and our winners will receive 10,000 smackaroos, which is exactly what male contestants would have earned if they'd won.
Blackout. Weird Al exits. When the lights come back up, Jeanette and Phyllis perform their winning entry as if it's a new music video.
Go, girls!
Debuting on MTV.
Sing along if you know the words.
Hit it, girls.
Give me my dough, I burn fair and square, sir. Don't block my cheddar, you're not the big cheese. Just a chauvinist sleaze. You act like masters of the universe. You want our victories to go in reverse. And Jemima and Mama Celeste should be your equals and not second best. Give me my dough, I burn fair and square, sir. Don't block my cheddar, you're not the big cheese. Just a chauvinist sleaze. You think the status quo's molto bene, that all that's tubular is our penne. We're just as saucy and
mushrooms, pepperoni. Nothing tops this breakthrough.
Everybody,
Give me my dough, I've heard fair and square, so don't block my cheddar. You're not the big cheese, just a chauvinist sleaze.
like Janet Jackson, we're taking control so you can beat it. Like Michael Monroe. One more time.
Give me my dough, I've heard fair and square, so don't block my cheddar. You're not the big cheese, just a chauvinist sleaze.
Blackout. When the lights come back up, Jeanette and Phyllis are sitting in stunned silence.
Jeanette, do you know what this means? We're gonna blast off like Sally Ride. Thank goodness we won. If we hadn't, NT was just about to sound from Maine that tune viciously.
Jeanette remains stupendously stupefied, frozen with fear.
Are you giving me a cold shoulder pad? Or are you just in shock? Sit up straight. You look like a slashed sock. Oh my gosh, what do we do now? We land an agent, right? I feel like that's the next logical step. I wonder what our first magazine cover will be. I hope it's Weekly Reader. Muppet Magazine would be gnarly too. What I'm more concerned about is our next TV appearance. If our agent doesn't jump through hoops to get us on Circus of the Stars, he's fired. Unless, of course, he gets us a commercial for Prel shampoo so that we can condition every girl in America to be fight for her right to parody. Oh, we'll have our own action figure. My Little Pony of that Moolah Pronto Buster. We'll start our own aerobics empire, the equal pay for equal workout. Jane Fonda is not the only feminist in this hemisphere. We'll record a song on a cassette and everyone will listen to us on their Walkman. No, on their Walkwoman. We'll even have our own line of puffy pants. Eventually, our success story will be turned into a musical. My Fairly Treated Lady. Because who better to put women's lib back in the libretto than us? Oh, Jeanette, welcome to your new reality, pal.
Weird Al enters. This time, he's a figment of Phyllis's imagination.
What you talking about, Phyllis?
I love you, your weirdness.
It's your weirdness I'm worried about.
Weird Al runs off stage, pursued by Phyllis.
Phyllis, you Philistine, you've transformed faster than a color-changing spoon in a bowl of Smurfberry Crunch. Phyllis? Phyllis, you'd better be yanking my chain, young lady. Phyllis! Curtain.
All right, that was Owl Pals by Allison Bracken. Shockingly, not the show tonight that's about drugs. Now we're on to the show that's about drugs. As a side note, I do a lot of workshops and conferences, and Johnny Shaw, if you've never read his work, he's a fantastic writer, and he also teaches screenwriting at UCLA. And he talks about it in every class. Whenever they have to write their first screenplay, there's always somebody who writes a play about a bunch of kids who find a bunch of weed and have to take care of it. He said it never fails. We didn't get that story, but we came super close with this next one. Okay? This is called A Trip to China by Nadia Legros. And this is about two friends, Connor and Seth, who take a trip to China where they try some psychedelics. Connor takes more than he's supposed to, which causes him to go crazy on his trip, which he thinks is real. During the trip, Seth and Connor go for a hike and run into trouble with some Shaolin monks. This is A Trip to China by Nadia Legros.
Our job is done.
Exterior airport, midday, a series of angles of planes easing into the runway. of Anyang Airport in China. Cut to interior airport midday. The shot starts wide and gets closer as it tightens on two young American men from behind walking toward the baggage claim. Connor, 22, lanky, wearing a psychedelic tie-dye shirt and a neck pillow, shovels plain peanuts in his mouth. Seth, 22, short and stout with a very calm demeanor about him, wearing a stony Tony shirt, begins to take his AirPods out as Connor starts to say something.
Bro, I can't believe we actually fucking did it. We're in fucking China right now, dog.
I know, right? Once we hit the B&B, we gotta get lit off some authentic sake, bro.
Connor's eyes widen with even more excitement, and he begins to slightly choke on his peanuts before he offers a suggestion.
Hear me out.
Connor grabs Seth's shirt, slightly stalling him in the middle of the crowded bustle of people in the airport. They bump into a couple people as they pause, which causes them to receive a few annoyed looks.
Let's pull a Kill Bill. Go to a small town bar and ask for a bottle of warm sake and say we're in pursuit of Japanese steel to kill vermin.
Close shot of Seth giving Connor a flabbergasted look with his mouth open as Connor gives him the look of a kid in a candy store. Seth softly releases Connor's grip from his shirt and flattens out the wrinkles he left as they begin to increase their walking pace back to normal.
Man, are you crazy? You're already goofy looking enough as it is, and if we try telling some poor soul that delusional shit, they'll really think you have a few screws missing.
Connor rolls his eyes playfully.
Bro, all I'm saying is we might actually discover a real-life Hattori Hanzo, and then we can convince him to make us sick-ass katanas.
Why do you want a katana and you can't even fight? Shit, you can't even win Mortal Kombat.
Seth begins to let out a soft chuckle as Connor becomes visibly annoyed at him for being a buzzkill.
Just wait till I fuck around and find out he's real. Don't even think about asking to use my sword. Hell, I'm not even letting you breathe near it.
The shot shows the two of them from behind again, blending back into the crowd as they walk away, though they are still visible, different looking than the rest of the crowd. Cut to exterior small town midday. A series of shots shows life in a small town close to Hang Mountain. Exterior Airbnb midday. Connor and Seth's Uber driver rolls into the shot of a tall wooden fence leading to where they'll stay. Shot inside the gate of the small house, weeds overgrown, a cat relaxing on the front step. Seth and Connor walk into the scene and unlock the front door. Interior Airbnb midday. A new angle of Seth and Connor walking through the front door into their stay for the week, both carrying at least 2 big bags.
Home at last.
The cat scurries into the house from outside, brushing Connor's leg on its way in.
Oh, sick! And we even get this cute-ass cat to keep us company.
As Connor begins to bend over to pick up the cat, Seth looks at him with slight disgust.
Oh, God, please don't touch that thing. You have no idea where it's been, dude.
Seth picks up the cat and cradles it like a baby and snuggling it.
Aw, it's okay, little buddy. He just a hater.
Connor and Seth start to settle into the B&B. Cut to interior living room night. Seth and Connor are sitting on the couch eating and fully invested in a K-drama on DVD. Seth gets up from the couch and pats himself down as if he's looking for something. Seth walks out of the scene down the hallway to his room while Connor is still fully indulging in the show. Seth peeks his head out from the door frame in the background to see if Connor is still occupied for a second.
Bro, TV is so much better here, I can't stop watching this shit.
I know, right? And it's just about to get so much better.
Connor inhales a bite of his noodle, and Seth walks back into the main frame, jostling something in his pocket. Seth flops back on the couch and stares at Connor with a sly grin.
I got a little surprise for us.
Connor turns his head to Seth, still with a mouthful of noodles.
Better not be some bullshit.
Seth reaches into his pocket and slides out a plastic bag filled with shrooms. Connor's eyes widen and his jaw drops, causing the noodle to fall on the floor. The shot shows the cat running to the fallen noodle and eating it.
Where? How did you even finesse that?
Connor grabs the bag from Seth in utter joy, while Seth begins to chuckle.
Man, don't worry about it. Just know I'm the GOAT, and I wasn't about to come without bringing a little fun.
Connor turns his head to Seth, wanting to question him more, but decides against it in order to enjoy the moment.
So, when did you wanna take these?
Shit, let's get to it right now.
Seth grabs one from the bag in Connor's hand and pops it in his mouth. Then he gets up to grab a water from the kitchen, walking out of the frame. Connor, excited, takes a handful of 4 and eats them all.
Only take one, though. My guy said these are hella strong, and one will be more than enough. Max 2, but definitely wait at least an hour before you take the second.
Connor freezes as he realizes what he's done.
Let's just say, hypothetically, we took like 4. That would be okay too, right? Like 4 times the fun!
Seth walks back into the frame and takes a seat on the couch with a glass of water in his hand.
Bruh, what did I literally just say? Only one. I'm not trying to go sicko mode in China. Fuck around and see that cat turn into a ninja or some shit.
Connor takes a distressed gulp as Seth takes a sip of his water.
Yeah, no, that would be a terrible idea. Except I already fucking did!
Seth panics and spits his water out directly into Connor's face, to which he barely flinches. Connor wipes the wetness from his face slowly.
So basically, I'm gonna die? Yeah, I'm fucked!
Connor gets visibly fidgety, and Seth tries to keep it calm and figure out a solution.
Okay, listen. You're gonna be fine. You're not gonna die. You're just gonna have to ride this out, and I'll make sure you're as comfortable as possible.
Connor, still stressed.
Comfortable as possible? What is this, a goddamn hostess?
Seth, now annoyed, slaps him on the back of the head, trying to knock some sense into him.
Man, you know what the fuck I meant. You gotta tighten up, dude. Everything's fine. We're gonna sit here, finish our food, binge this show, and vibe.
Seth gets up from the couch one last time and grabs Connor's neck pillow. He places it around his neck and then tucks a fuzzy blanket around him. The cat jumps onto Connor's lap to comfort him.
See, look at you. You're snug as a bug in a rug. Just try and chill out and ride.
Connor takes a deep breath and begins to relax. The camera angle pans out from the tight shot of the two friends to a wider shot. A time lapse shows the two enjoying the K-drama, high as a kite, on the couch. Eventually, the end of the time lapse shows the two doze off. Cut to interior Airbnb morning. A shot of the sun shining through the window in the room. The shot pans over to Connor, comfortably snuggled on the couch with the cat. Seth walks over to Connor from the kitchen with a piece of toast with jelly on it in his hand. Close shot of Seth leaning on top of Connor and tickling the toast on his mouth. Close shot of the toast hitting Connor's lips.
Wakey, wakey, eggs and bacon.
Connor wakes up abruptly, confused, and falls off the couch clumsily.
Whoa, like, quit playing around, man. This is not how you wake people up, bro. Come on.
Seth laughs and helps him off the ground.
Calm down, princess, and get ready. I plan to hike for us today at Hang Mountain.
Disgruntled, Connor takes the toast from Seth's hand and eats it. The two begin to get ready. Cut to exterior Hang Mountain morning. Wide shot of Hang Mountain. A series of shots showing the scenery of Hang Mountain. A shot tightens on the two friends walking up the path to the mountain.
Man, it's beautiful up here. We needed this.
Connor takes in a deep breath of the atmosphere.
I know, this is great, isn't it? Being one with nature really makes you feel whole. Well, almost.
Connor starts to get a little bit ahead of Seth, taking in the nature, while Seth scrummages through his bag for something. Seth finally pulls out a bag of weed and shows Connor.
A bag of bud, the missing piece.
Seth, what is wrong with you? I'm still trying to recoup from the shrooms last night.
The two continue walking their path, but without as much focus as before, too consumed by their conversation.
Man, whatever. You don't have to. But me, on the other hand, I'm trying to get in tune with this sweet, sweet Mother Nature.
Seth opens the bag and takes a big inhale.
Refreshing.
Connor lets the stoner side get the best of him and grabs the bag from Seth.
All right, you got me. I haven't smoked in a week anyways. Where's the papers?
Seth frantically looks through his bag, unable to find the papers, just the lighter.
Fuck.
Connor shakes his head, disappointed at Seth.
How do you have that big-ass head and no brain, man? How do you forget to pack papers?
Seth gets serious and turns to Connor.
That's crazy coming from you. You're the same guy that doesn't know how to tie his shoes to this day. Sounding loud as fuck everywhere you go with all that damn Velcro.
Low blow, dude.
The two start to laugh it off, but then they become aware they are lost. Seth and Connor stop and look around in every direction, puzzled on which way to go.
Holy shit, I think we're lost.
Okay, we just need to stay calm and retrace our steps. Eventually, after we backtrack enough, we'll be right back on the path.
They share a fearful look, but keep faith they'll be just fine.
Yeah, you're right. Let's get moving then.
The two begin their trek back. A series of shots shows the two navigating their way through the overgrown greenery. Cut to exterior Shaolin Temple, midday. Seth and Connor push through a few tall weeds on a narrow path which leads into an ancient, hidden Shaolin temple. A series of shots captures at least 100 monks training in front of the temple.
Well, I'll be damned. How's this for Kill Bill, asshole?
Connor and Seth both stand in awe of the magnificence of the monks. They begin to walk towards the temple.
I'm speechless. You won't find shit like this back in the States.
One of the head monks, Jet Chi, approaches the two before they can get too close. Jet Chi basically appears from thin air, catching the two off guard and startling them.
Hello, travelers. Welcome to our temple. What brings you here?
Connor and Seth try to catch their breath from being frightened.
Wow, man. How'd you do that? That was crazy. You really got that.
Connor extends his arms for a fist bump, but Jet Chi respectfully declines. Seth pushes Connor out of the way.
Please excuse my friend. We're actually visiting from America and we got lost on our hike. Maybe you could help us get back down the mountain?
Of course. It is without question. Though I must offer if you and your friend would like a tour of our temple.
Connor and Seth look at each other, overly ecstatic, and try to suppress themselves from screaming and jumping up and down.
Sir, we would be honored.
Jet Chi takes the two friends up the mountainside to get a closer look at the temple. On the edge of the mountain, monks train their combative MMA skills on a concrete slab. A series of angles shows the monks doing various different types of training, like finger punching, striking with foot, and skill of light body. Jet Chi leaves the two inside the temple. Interior Shaolin Temple, midday. The first room they enter is where the monks eat. The room is completely silent, only filled with the chatter of utensils. A series of shots captures the three, then going through a number of more different training rooms. As the group makes their way to the end of their tour, they pass a room with a shrine-like fixture holding an ancient shanka, a Tibetan Buddhist right-turning conch shell. The glimmer of the dazzled shell catches Connor's attention and gives him a mischievous idea.
What do you two think?
This place is amazing. I mean, I am truly taken aback.
Wonderful. I'm pleased. I was able to share some of our culture with you two, and we would love to invite you both to stay for a meal before you depart.
The three exchange respectful body language in agreement.
We would love that. So, do you mind if we use the restroom first?
Jet Chi gestures the way to the restroom and bows to the two before they part ways. Cut to interior restroom midday. Connor eagerly rushes Seth to the restroom, to which he offers him his idea from earlier.
Okay, hear me out.
Seth looks a bit nervous at Connor anticipating what he's going to say.
You saw that old-ass fancy shell-looking thing back there too, right? What else does that remind you of?
Seth struggles to put it together what Connor's trying to say at first, but it finally clicks.
No. Have you lost your entire mind? We are not doing that.
Seth tries to shake some sense into Connor.
Bro, it will literally be so easy. We walk right outside that door, grab the shell, sprinkle some bud in it, get blazed, then put the shell right back.
They never know. Do you have any idea who we would be pissed off? Shaolin motherfucking monks, man. They can blow on us and we die.
Connor releases Seth's grip from his arms.
Come on, man, have some adventure. Everything will be fine. Look, I'll even go get it, and you can wait here.
Seth, scared but trusting, nods his head to consent. Interior shell room, midday. Connor cautiously peeks his head around the corner and sees no one else is in the room. Connor, ironically does terrible ninja moves, trying to be stealthy, and grabs the conch. Once he has it, he sprints back to the restroom. Interior restroom midday. Connor rushes through the entrance of the bathroom back to Seth. He holds up the shell like a trophy in one hand and the bag of weed in the other.
Now, let's play.
A series of shots shows the two packing the shell and lighting it and passing it back and forth, taking turns to toke. In the distant background, Seth and Connor hear someone yell out in the temple, "Someone has stolen the Shankar." Seth and Connor try to hide their evidence frantically and devise a plan to put the shell back. The two are too late. Jet Chi storms into the bathroom with 3 other monks and looks at them in disgust.
What a disgrace the both of you are. Now you leave me no choice.
The 3 monks restrain Seth and Connor. Cut to exterior Shaolin Temple midday. Seth and Connor are thrown onto the concrete slab surrounded by all the monks of the temple. Jet Chi hovers over Seth and Connor.
Today the two of you disrespected our sacred temple by tainting the Shankar. We must now challenge you to fight on behalf of our values.
Seth looks extremely mad at Connor.
What the actual fuck, bro? You just had to fuck around and you found out, didn't you? Now we're really about to meet Hattori Hanzo. Oh God, it's over for us.
One of the monks picks Seth off the ground and sets him to the side away from Connor.
You are first.
Jet Chi hands a bow to Connor. Connor gets up from the ground and turns to face his competition behind him. The monk is about the same build as Connor, just a bit more buff.
Oh, wow, this guy isn't even that big. I think I might actually be able to take him.
The monk walks calmly towards Connor and bows, then proceeds to break down Connor's bow like a celery stick being chopped to pieces.
Well, shit.
Connor runs away from the monk, screaming, to the edge of the concrete slab, which is also the edge of the mountain. A shot shows the crowd of monks is calm and silent, while Seth is seen terrified and biting his nails. Connor turns around, and all of a sudden, the only thing he sees is the foot of the competitor monk flying towards his face, which makes contact. A series of angles shows Connor falling from the side of the mountain until he eventually vanishes into the fogginess of the clouds. Fades to black. Interior, Airbnb, night. Close shot of Connor's eyes aggressively opening. Connor looks around the room and sees Seth asleep, cuddled up with the cat beside him. The shot shows the K-drama still playing on the TV. Connor rubs his eyes and takes a big drink of Seth's water sitting on the table in front of them. Connor looks around one last time, trying to solidify his confidence in this reality.
Holy shit, Seth was right. I should have just taken one.
An angle shows the back of Connor and Seth on the couch with the TV in the background. Connor picks up the remote and shuts the TV off. Cut to black. Yeah!
Is why do the adult entries deal with drugs? Like, cannibalism's the only way. I don't know.
Kids kill each other.
Smith is an amazing human being, an amazing writer, an amazing playwright. She will be featured in the short work before our play tomorrow night, The Excursion. But tonight, her entry is, and I'm not making this up, The Mysterious Case of the Merkin Maker. Augustine Smith is a writer and substitute teacher at Raleigh County. She holds a bachelor's degree in journalism from West Virginia University and spent more than a decade working as a newspaper reporter, mostly at the Register Herald. Audrey's freelance articles are regularly featured in West Virginia South, and she serves as an interim editor for Response magazine. Her work has been honored by West Virginia Writers Incorporated, again bringing it up, check out West Virginia Writers, in contest categories for playwriting, children's books, humor, and the Pearl S. Buck Award for Writing for Social Change. She is still working on her first novel. So, I think the title of this piece says enough, but it's Allow Your Mind to Make a Brief... First of all, does everyone know what a merkin is? This joke is not going to work if you don't know what it is, right? It's a wig for you downstairs. Okay. Allow your mind to make a brief journey into the gutter for a little double entendre fun with the mysterious case of the merkin maker. Kirsten, who makes merkins, yes, scare pieces for private areas, is on a terrible blind date, but she may have just met her soulmate.
Cast of characters. Larry, an overly groomed or bald, professionally dressed man aged 25 to 40. Kirsten, a natural-looking, free-spirit type woman aged 25 to 40, Larry's blind date. Server, Harry, Larry and Kirsten's bearded waiter. Scene, a restaurant with a bar. Time, the present. Act 1, Scene 1. We are in a casual restaurant. Larry is seated at a table talking on his cell phone. His tone is arrogant.
Yeah, some pub near the airport called the Landing Strip.
Kirsten enters and walks toward the table wearing a muff and carrying an old suitcase with visible bold lettering that reads, Kirsten's Merkin.
You gotta be kidding me. I'm afraid my blind date has arrived. Really afraid? Call me in 10.
He hangs up and stands to greet her.
You must be Kirsten, or is it Kristen, like wig?
Hello, it's Kirsten. She pulls a hand from her muff and shakes his. You must be Larry. They sit. She places her muff and suitcase under the table. Its label, Kirsten's Merkins, should be clearly visible to the audience.
Is that a muff? I don't think I've seen one of those in real life. On A&E maybe, but not on a real person. It's interesting.
It was my grandmother's. I guess you could say I like things a little old-fashioned.
Oh, that reminds me. I think I'll have one of those.
A muff?
No, an old-fashioned.
I thought you kind of neat.
Usually I prefer it neat, but well, why not change things up a bit? That's why we're here, isn't it? Out-of-the-box date. I mean, obviously you aren't my type, and a little sugar cube never hurt anyone.
He snaps at the server. Kirsten is turned off by his rude technique and lack of patience. Server enters and approaches table.
May I help you? I'll have an old-fashioned, and for the old-fashioned lady...
Do you have any craft beers on draft?
Certainly. We have a pale lager called Beard of Zeus. Jungle Trim is a decent light one. Our house beer, Landing Strip, is pretty good. If you really like hops, we have several IPAs. Satan's Goatee, Magic Carpet, Bushwhacked, Patch of Heaven, Bermuda Triangle, we did Garden.
Perhaps you could just bring me my old-fashioned and her a beer list for now?
Oh, an arrogant bastard. It's more of a stout. I'll get a list.
That's not necessary. The beard one sounds good.
Excellent choice.
Server exits stage.
That's disgusting.
What is?
Didn't you notice his beard? It's just hanging there. Too close to food, if you ask me. Gross.
There is a pause of uncomfortable silence.
So... weird suitcase? Is that just part of your old-fashioned style?
It's my work, actually. I came right from a movie set, a Western, and I don't really trust anyone with it.
Afraid someone might snatch it, eh? I have some news for you. No one wants an old suitcase.
That may be, but I need to lose it.
Something's in there?
My work.
Oh, yeah. The profile said you were a makeup artist.
Something of the sort.
I'd expect a makeup artist to wear more makeup.
I like it natural.
Suit yourself.
Server returns to the table and gives them their drinks.
Are we ready to order?
Oh, goodness, I didn't even read the menu yet.
I'll give you a few minutes.
Larry starts to order, but Server ignores him. Kirsten studies the menu as Server exits.
You're going over that thing with a fine-tooth comb. I mean, it's not like a Brazilian or anything.
Sorry, I get my pasta names mixed up. What's the one, the short and curly?
Fusilli.
Ah, yes, that's it. Thank you. Now, what sauce?
Good Lord, did you see what they're putting in downstairs?
No, what?
A toupee shop.
What?
Toupee.
Downstairs. Toupees.
Yes. Talk about old-fashioned.
He takes a drink.
Ew, there's a hair in there. That disgusting waiter.
Are you sure?
Of course I'm sure. I'm gonna get that asshole fired.
Yeah, I see it.
What the hell for?
Larry's phone rings. He answers.
Yes. Oh, that's terrible. I'll be right there.
Yeah, sounds like you've got to go.
Look, I'd be lying if I said I'm sorry.
Larry tosses a 20 on the table and starts to exit the stage.
Happy trails, Larry. Happy trails.
As Larry exits, Kirsten reaches for his drink and examines it with great interest. She takes a napkin and fishes out a piece of hair. She looks at it closely, folds it up in the napkin, and places it in her purse. Then she takes a big drink of her beer. The server approaches, but nearly trips on a rug beside the table. He is carrying 2 full shot glasses and a beer for himself.
Silly rug. Really blew that down.
He places the beer and shots on the table and takes Larry's seat.
I think we have a few things to celebrate.
How do we now?
Well, first, that jerk is gone, and second, my shift is over, and third, I'm opening my own business downstairs.
Toupees?
Downstairs.
Well, congratulations. Sorry, I didn't catch your name.
It's Harry.
No kidding. Well, Harry, bottoms up. Ooh, that's good. What was that?
I thought the straight stuff might be a little too stiff for your liking. Went with something a little softer. Fuzzy navel.
Well, I like it, Harry, but why me?
Okay, please don't get mad, but I have to admit I was so curious about your box. I Googled it, and the minute you walked in...
Oh, that's sweet. You know what, Harry?
What?
You make me proud to be a merkin maker.
Excellent Bush impersonation.
That's my job.
I'm impressed and hungry. Care to join me?
Blackout. End of act and play.
Coming at you, including our last play tonight. This one's kind of important to me. This is Tyson Common, please. Please let Mike, Murdoch, and Nora Ankrum know if you enjoy this evening, if this is the kind of thing you'd like to see more of. We took a chance on this event. This is not an event we've done in a bar before, because I'm in charge of it, so it's a bar. Because I agree with my work. It's what I do. If you've enjoyed this, Wait, you drink when you work? Is that what you said? Shot at Tyson? No. Karen, you don't work there. Sorry. But we have a lot of talent in this area. We have incredibly talented actors with Alchemy. We have incredibly talented writers throughout the stage. None of that matters if people don't show up to see your work. Come
come out to shows. I know this is not the most convenient thing. It was kind of a cold and rotten day. You had to come out in bad weather. But really, at the end of the day, come see the show. It's always better to see it live. Come see. We have Alchemy's got a whole season lined up. Make sure you come out to see the shows. Norm Clark is here. He's got Great Trip of the Ovid, Murder and Merriment. There's a lot to see.
Sheila.
Yes, sir.
Ma'am.
Yes,
I'm 68, and this is not what I had anticipated.
The name of this event should be, it was not what I expected. But this is our final show of the night, and I'm just thrilled that it's Tyson Complex.
Don't come on.
No, I'm doing your bio, son. Yeah, I either read your bio or I make one up.
Make it
up.
up.
I'm doing both. Okay. Tyson Compton has served as the president of the Huntington Area Convention and Visitors Bureau since 2009. He came to Huntington from the Paramount Arts Center in Ashland, where he was the marketing director. Prior to that, he lived in Los Angeles, where he was the marketing director for a magazine publishing group. And during that time, he also served as the editor of the Where Los Angeles tourism publication. Tyson has been writing since his high school days, where he was the editor of the high school yearbook. He has been a freelance writer for newspaper and magazines, and while in LA, he concentrated on film and television scripts. Side note, I know for a fact he was also on The Dating.
Yeah!
Unfortunately, the woman didn't pick him, and history just failed us. Tyson, and I'm reading the bio he sent. Tyson, also known as Kentucky Thunder, credits his many years of acting in community theater for improving his writing. In 2002, he was named Best Actor for his portrayal of Colonel Jessup in A Few Good Men in the Ashland Community College.
Remember that, Ryan? I do remember that.
Right? I will notice that he is also in our original work, One Night in Venice, tomorrow night. His character was named, shockingly, Mr. Tyson. I'm just saying, he's my boss. He's also the best person I know, literally. So tonight, his show is Like That. It tells the story of Georgie, a young man in Middle America, who just after high school graduation in 1970 is thrown out by his parents when they discover he is gay. He moves to New York City, where he becomes the toast of the Great White Way as he assembles his family of choice and becomes a positive influence on many who are lost or lonely. Our final show of the night, Tyson Compton's Like That.
Scene 6, I'll stand by you. Georgie sits at a table in Spectrum, looking at a magazine. Miss Yu enters, disheveled, bleeding, and crying. Nervous Nellie walks by, sees her, screams, and runs out.
What happened? It's you. What happened?
I was attacked. I thought they were going to kill me.
Oh my God.
He helps her in a chair and sits beside her.
They said some terrible things to me, Georgie. Terrible things about me, Georgie, and they don't even know me.
Cries some more.
They did some awful thing to me, Georgie. They wouldn't stop. I was bleeding and they didn't care.
He holds her.
I guess somebody called the police. Anyway, they finally showed up. Those men just ran off and the police weren't much better. One of them actually said it was probably my fault.
It's okay, it's okay.
Why do they do that, Georgie? Why? I never did anything to them. I would never want to hurt them or anybody. And they want to hurt me just because of who I am or to them. I guess it's because of what I am.
What you are, Miss Yu, is one of the best people I've ever known. You're beautiful inside and out. You are mother, father, and friend to so many. You, Miss, are our leader. You are so important that thousands of people end their letters with your name every day.
Tries to smile.
Miss Yu.
Nodding his head.
Yeah, Miss Yu.
You know, people have said mean things to me all my life. Never gets easier to hear, though. Just because of who I am. That's the part that's so hard to understand. Did I ever tell you about my grandmother, Georgie?
No, I don't think so.
She was quite the woman. Southern lady, very pretty, in her younger days. I loved her so dearly, you know? At first, anyway, as a child, I spent so much time at her place. She would let me run and play all over that big old house. I was always drawn to her closets. They were dark and cave-like, and I loved to explore and do things. One day, I was about 7 years old, I found this very silky robe. Oh, it was beautiful. It felt so good in my hands. I wanted to feel it on my skin. It just seemed like that's where I was supposed to put it. So I put it on. For the first time in my little life, I felt right about who I was. I think that was the first time I realized, at least in my little mind, that I was so very different.
Yeah? I bet you rocked that robe.
Well, from then on, I started trying on all kinds of things, but that robe was always my favorite. It was so long, of course, it drug around behind me. I felt just like a princess. Not yet the queen I am today.
She pulls Georgie's face around to look directly at him.
That's really how I felt, Georgie. I didn't debate back and forth or question it or think anything, but I was a beautiful princess.
Wow.
Of course, every princess has long, beautiful hair, so I put my pajama bottoms on my head, flipped the legs of them up, and twisted them around, and I pinned one of my grandmother's big brooches right in the middle of it.
I bet you look just grand.
Well, of course, honey.
She reaches up and strokes his cheek.
Then one day, my grandmother saw me with it on, looking at myself in the mirror. She flew into a rage. Well, it scared me nearly to death. I didn't know what had happened. Then I realized she was yelling at me. She'd never done that before. I remember thinking that she must not understand. I wasn't going to get the robe dirty. I also remembered that she had told me one time that I could tell her anything. I trusted her without question, so I told her. I told her that I thought there must have been a mistake, with me. I wanted to dress just like her, be pretty like her. She shook me so hard, and she slapped me right across the face. I can still remember how much it burned. Then she started calling me the most awful names, the ugliest names. Her words were like bullets. I was 7, Georgie. Can you imagine? My grandmother never allowed me in her house again.
Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry.
But I was a fierce little thing, don't you doubt it. And I picked myself right up. Maybe not right out the way, but I learned to. Every time another person hurts you like that, you either give in or get up. You decide you'll get through it. Sometimes, when they just keep knocking you down, it's just too damn hard to get back up.
Maybe you don't have to be so strong every time. It's okay to not be so strong all the time. Let me help you up.
I'm tired, Georgie.
I got you.
Just so weak, tired. Maybe I've got no fight left.
She tries to stand but slides out of her chair and slumps to the floor.
There's no shame in crying, and nothing you confess can make me love you less.
It's time for me to let go.
Let go. I'll stand by you.
But I'm just too damn mad.
So if you're mad, get mad. Don't hold it all inside.
Miss Yu rocks her head from side to side. She pounds the floor with her hands. Georgie helps her up from the floor and holds her.
I'll stand by you. I won't let nothing hurt you.
Oh, you sweet boy. How I love you. You're like the son I never had. Mama, don't you dare make me laugh right here in my drama queen moment.
And you're like a mother to me. One who would never throw me out of the house just for being gay.
Oh, Georgie. What's to become of us?
Well, I'm going to marry a millionaire, and you're going to come live with us in our Long Island estate. We'll fix you the cutest little mother-in-law cottage out back.
Or maybe I'll marry the millionaire, and you can be our pool boy.
And then the millionaire and I will have a deliciously torrid affair, and you really will throw me out of the house.
That imagination of yours.
But first, we need to get you, fix you.
Bites his fingernails.
Make you
He moves his hands towards her, but doesn't know where to place them.
Oh, Lordy.
Guess I am a manslaughter. They did what they could at the ER, at least to clean up the blood.
He stands back from her, steadies her, then walks her towards the bar.
Did they treat you okay there?
They actually did. You know, I just remembered there was one policeman. He took me there, just like the last time, only this one was quite nice and not bad on the eyes at all. In fact, I know I've seen him somewhere before.
Like the last time?
The last time a cop took me to the ER, after the riots.
Riots? What riots?
Stonewall, baby.
Stonewall? You were at the Stonewall riots?
I told you about that.
Stops walking.
No ma'am, you did not.
That was what, 6 years ago, I guess? 1969. 3 of us drag queens started the whole thing. Smart-ass Martha and that crazy Puerto Rican Sylvia. We were all just minding our business when the cops showed up and started trouble. Well, one of the girls threw a shot glass through the mirror. We all took off running, but Marcia had to stop and throw a brick through the window. That's when the cops grabbed us. Them throwing us in the paddy wagon is what caused the riot to start. Somehow I got cut and they had to stop at the ER on the way to jail.
Say what? Miss you, you're part of our history. I mean, most of us clearly see the Stonewall riots as being the point we said no more suppressing us. It was you who helped us give and our people freedom.
Me and the girls?
He looks at her, his mouth hanging open.
You're welcome, baby.
She pats his face.
Now close your mouth.
She pushes his arm away and starts to walk on her own. She stumbles just a bit as she moves across the floor, but she catches herself. One shoe has lost a heel, so she hobbles.
Hey guys.
Scene 7. Have you ever seen the rain? Rat Boy, Nervous Nellie, and several other employees rush over. They all stop short when they catch sight of Miss You.
Oh my gosh, what happened? Are you okay?
George silences them, snaps his fingers, and motions them to come over to Miss You, who now leans against the bar, mumbling.
Oh, no. Have you ever seen the rain?
The workers take her hands and pull her out into the middle of the floor. She stands tall. Now they go to work on her. One helps straighten her wig, one works on her makeup, one bends down to fix her shoe. Miss You is becoming herself again, getting her power back. She touches each of the workers' faces gently.
Have you ever seen the rain?
Yeah!
The workers completely surround Miss You so that we can't see her. They flutter back and forth, in and out, until suddenly they all step back, and she is gorgeous, dressed in a ravishing gown, holding herself tall and proud.
I want to know, have you ever seen the rain coming down on a sunny day?
We've rebuilt her, bigger and better than ever.
Everyone claps happily. She beams. Butch Cop enters, dressed in his police uniform.
Speaking of bigger.
He makes eye contact with Miss You, walks to her, and takes her hand.
Ma'am.
A handsome gentleman. Sir, you may stay.
I hope you don't mind my stopping in. I wanted to make sure you were okay.
It's you from here. You're a cop? Well, good mercy in the morning. I may need a minute. But yes, honey, I will be okay.
Marla runs in, clearly distraught. No! They found Johnny's body in the river! He jumped! Oh my God, he jumped! Oh! Fade out.
Write the pieces. Take the chance. Do the work. This is art. Life. Mike Murdoch, come on.
Thank you, everybody, for coming out to this. I've always thought New Works is one of the most important things we do. We used to do it at Arts Resources for the Tri-State a long time ago. We started it again last year with Alchemy. I think it's very important to see all this new stuff in its fledgling starts. And thank you, everybody, for participating. Thank you to all the writers. Thank you to Christy and Sheila and Toby for all of their work. Stephen Vance and to Nora and to the board of Alchemy for making this all happen. And especially to Cellar Door for allowing us to have it here. Tomorrow, workshops noon at Heritage Station, then back here again tomorrow evening for 2 more big shows. So thank you all for being here. Tip your bartenders!